Hello!
Hi.
How are you? I'm gonna stop the music. And I see Mr. Blue already popping up in chat. Hello. Is that a duck? There's a duck in their picture. That's pretty cool. Oh, Elias is here. Ah, Whipple, aka Whipple, is here today. I've dragged him in. And hey, Pep. So Pep, I don't know if you'll remember my last stream how chaotic it was, but I actually got some things together this time. You ready for this? I tried. Let's see if it works. You ready? Here you go. You're the first one to see. Ah, this should be the setup. This will be how it should look. I did take some inspiration from good old EFAP. And then I also have another layout here. Chat should pop up in the right eventually when that gets going. And yeah, this is not as chaotic as it used to be, but don't worry, still crazy enough. But this sleepy. I'm a sleepy person today. I got no sleeps, and that's gonna make it even better of a stream, right? Right. And Whipple here hasn't seen the show. I don't know many people that has seen. Pap likes it. Look, Pap likes it. Got it. Ooh. Sweet, thank you. I should probably make one too, though. That's a bit more chaotic. I miss that. I miss that a whole bunch. I think that'll. You probably will be the only one that knows. Knows Leap. Yes. Let me see here. My chat isn't showing up on screen. I do know this has been a bug recently, unfortunately, but oh, whoa, that's not Whipple. Look at the live stream.
I see whatever happened. I can't see it.
It's the chat.
Oh
It's.
Jesus.
Let me know how my volume is, Pep. I appreciate you and anybody that's chiming in. Still working out the kinks. Okay, it should be better in the future. But yeah, so today I'm going to be going through, I'm going to try to go through the entirety of the show. I wanted to watch it with Whipple, but he doesn't like watching TV or movies, which sucks. So I'm going to make him. But yeah, we're going to try to get through most of it today. And if you're not familiar with it, I do recommend watching it, even though I'm going to be going through most of it and spoiling it. But I also have a copyright wall, which I hope will work. Yeah, you guys is a bit quiet. Okay, let me turn them up. Whipple, you're louder now. Oh, maybe I gotta make it even louder in Discord. Here we go. Wow, that chat still looks pretty messed up. Okay, my voice is a bit loud, and Whipple's a bit quiet. Turn me down. Whipple, sing us a song, a beautiful song, so I can adjust your volume.
I don't know how to do that, but I can just talk.
We'll get there. We'll work the kinks out. Pap is very nice, very understanding. The chat is effed completely, but that's fine.
I see that. Oh, and so is my profile image.
It's okay.
Oh, it just has like the little overlay as you adjusted my volume on it.
Hey, this is the channel that you tune in for, right? But yeah, I don't know if I can get chat working because I look like I done goofed by stretching it out.
Someone suggested that the text of the chat might just be black and it's not showing up.
Oh, that's a great idea. See, they're too smart. Too smart. You are completely correct. What color would you like to be? You get to pick.
The most offensive color to the eyes.
The most offensive color to the eyes? Hey, Yanni. Nice to see ya. We'll be here for a bit. It's still a bit quiet. Okay, who's quiet, Whipple or me? And thank you, Mr. Blue, for being the test duck. Much appreciated. Up your volume more. Whipple, they want to hear what you have to say. Preach to the choir.
I don't have a lot of things to say. But hello.
Alright, I'm gonna think pink like neon pink. I think that's a pretty intrusive color. There you go. Wow, that's also very large. I like it. It can't be all put together. SS wants blue. Hey SS! How are you? I'm gonna go with pink for the moment. But there is Mr. Blue in chat. Oh my goodness, this is already a mess. Oh, guys, guess what? Noodles, guess what I've made? I've made myself a little board for when I make jokes and stuff. Like, what's a funny joke? Wait, do I have a joke? Knock knock.
Who's there?
Your mom. Ooh.
You got me.
Alright, just try to stay consistent with how far away your mouth is from the microphone.
Yeah, I haven't moved it.
Okay, good. Pink is good. My eyes are burning. No, Paps, eyes are burning. Let's try a different. We'll try blue. We'll try blue. I don't mind blue. Give it a shot. I got a 10 out of 10 on the joke. Okay, that's a little bit better. It looks a little bit better. Oh my goodness. Oh, hey! What is your little icon? How do I say that, Whipple?
Is or their name?
Their name.
Sirius Knight.
Serious Night. Cool. Hi. Welcome. This is my first ever stream. So right now it's the lovely peoples and noodles in chat. Well, it's not my first ever stream. It's my first official stream, right? I named it number 1. So this will go down in history as the number 1, the first one. There's technically another first one, but that's top secret. But yeah, welcome. It's nice to have you around. We're going to be going through today the entirety of Physical 100, so hope you're up for that.
Oh, should I turn on the stream? I have the stream volume muted right now because it would like echo for me on a delay. Should I turn it on to hear the show?
No, I probably won't be playing it very much just because of copyright.
Okay.
Oh, hey Ho-Hum. I hope you get some sleep. I have not slept, but who needs sleep? But yeah, I'm gonna have this chat looking goofy on the right because I don't want to be fully put together yet, right? I need progression. So if it's completely there. Oh, and the first few people that are here, you can tell me what you like and what you don't like, and the next stream I'll have it all put together. But here, like, look, ready? Look how fancy that transition is, eh? Look at that. So this is mwah. Beautiful. I'm losing my mind though, so I hope you can lose your mind with me. But yeah, let's just get started. So Whipple, you know absolutely nothing about this, right?
I know literally nothing, and the font's too small for me to read. Like I don't have it in full screen, so I can't even read the little blurb under the description of the show. So I know nothing.
That's okay. That's just the episode. It's just called episode 1 pecking order. 5 a.m. Well, good morning. Oh my gosh. And we do need an arc. Absolutely. I need a story arc so that way when I become the biggest streamer of all time. Talk about the story arc I have. So yeah, basically this show is the biggest, coolest, toughest physical people from all different aspects of sports, and it shows them doing extreme challenges, and the last one remaining out of the 100 is the premise, right? It starts off with 100. The last one remaining after all of these tasks, challenges, is the one that wins. I think it's related to, if you convert it over to American money, is $250,000. So it starts off with it's quite unconventional, and I mean unconventional in comparison to how I think typical American TV shows or like Western European TV shows are structured. And if someone who potentially is watching this and isn't familiar with maybe other culture TV shows, it might not be a cup of tea. So it's got a lot of time doing introduction, which I like personally because I like to get to know people or characters in movies or whatever it is, but I can see how for some people that might be just get to the stuff where they're lifting things and going fast, you know? But I enjoyed that. And Knight, the sport is all different kinds of stuff. They're not really doing sports per se. They're people that come from all different sports. So like there was like wrestlers. Oh, there was a really cool. I can't wait to show you some of these people. There was just some scary body lifters. I don't really know. Not scary, but you know, like they could bench a truck if they wanted to. So yeah, when they first start off the show, I really liked this. They have this theme throughout the entire show of comparing a human body or wanting to find the perfect human body. And this room that they enter into, I'm going to put up a copyright wall. I really hope it works. Let me know what you guys think of the copyright wall too. I don't mind changing it. But this is all I have for now. They walk into this room with all of these statues that they made here. And each one of these statues is an exact molded replica of that contestant's body. So they'll walk in for the first 40 minutes, I think, of this show, which is a decent amount of time again. They're introducing characters or people, real life people, and they go in and they find their statue. And they just get to know each other, and it's really interesting just because I guess there's just so many different bodies and they're all so fit. Is this a fetish? Sorry, I just saw Knight's comment. I'm going to be reading chat occasionally too because I want to interact with you guys because you're kind enough to be here. It's 4 a.m., Pap? What the frick? What are you doing? Is this Korean? I think so.
It looks Korean.
Yeah.
From the text, the language that I saw written.
I just remember the reason why I say that is because even though it's Korean, there were a few contestants. Like there was an American contestant. I think someone was from France at some point. So but yeah, is indeed Korean. But it was fun watching all of these contestants come in one by one, and they're like looking each other up and down, kind of, you know. They're like, oh, that's some real competition. And there were, I think, it was, how do I put this? Whipple, do you work out at all? I'm just curious.
No, I mean, I guess I lift things at work, but no, I do not pump iron at the gym. No.
Oh, what? You don't lift metal against its will for fun, you know?
No, I do not.
Against gravity's will. Yeah, so they continue on in for a good while, and dude, some of these people are like, look at this. Look at this. What? If I were standing in this room, I was like, oh, okay, I'll compete. 100 people. I lift weights occasionally, you know, maybe I have a chance. And then I see this coming on in the room. Do you know how quickly I leave?
Oh my god, I just saw the thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a search, as Pap says, they basically are in the search for the perfect body. And I do have a problem with that as well, and I'll totally get to that. That was one of the things that I enjoyed, but also didn't enjoy, because I thought that was just kind of for show. This, by the way, this show constantly gives Squid Game vibes. The contestants even mention it. And I think some of the challenges were actually quite fair, but at the end of the day, the immediate thought I had from someone who, as a woman that goes to the gym occasionally, it can be frustrating because no matter like how freaking snicking hard I try, I still got that good old whammon DNA, and I can't lift as much as, this guy. Oh my gosh. He can literally bench me. Dude, that's crazy. So I immediately was like, oh, all of the women are at a disadvantage. And throughout the show, there is, they recognize that no one really wants to be on teams with the women, and there is a really cool moment that we'll get to. But right now, I'm just giving like a little intro. And overall, I definitely would recommend giving it a watch. But to the train's here. Jamie's here. Hey, I hope you guys are doing well. This is real. This happened in life. They did like this is not fake. I mean, I'm sure it's fake as in like some of it's scripted, but it's not, like, you could tell these are real contestants that actually did this challenge. I hope I don't get like demonetized for this little shot here on the right. He's alluding to something. Wait. But yeah, so that's what they do for a while, and there's some really interesting people that immediately caught my eye. I don't know if I should spend the time going through all of them because we'll be here for quite a minute. But just overall, as I'll skim through, maybe you can just get a gist of how physically fit every single person here really is. And then at a certain point, they threw in, I guess, people that were a little less conventionally bodybuilder builds. Kind of like Whipple. You know how you have that really strange hidden strength that no one would know you had just from looking at you?
Yeah.
But like, you could just randomly break their wrist because you just have, like, looking at Whipple, if you ever...
Yeah.
He's like more of a thinner frame, but then if you were to offer like an arm wrestle or anything that involves wrist strength, there's absolutely no chance, like zero, -0. He also can jump a good 2-3 feet. Like, you could jump really high, really high.
I'm not like crazy, but I'm reasonably stronger and more athletic than my appearance would suggest.
Yeah, so they did have I'd say 3 or 4 people like that as well that weren't conventionally as large. But I think if you could see that I think that she's a famous YouTuber here. If I remember right. I'm not gonna remember any names. There's 100 people, but yeah, it was cool because they ended up doing decently well, and it was inspirational. Let's see what's going on. That woman with the triceps. Yeah, it was. It definitely made me feel a little out of shape watching this. I'm not gonna say like I feel okay. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty in shape. I'm alright. And then I watched this, and just like, oof. Hey, beef boy, you have a PhD? Or do you have a PhD in like beef or something? That'd be cool.
A PhD in beef.
I like your picture as well with Kermit. Is that drinking like whiskey? Yeah, all of them. Some of them were on the like international teams. They played professional sports for the Olympics and stuff like that. So let's just say the comp here, it's no joke. All right, you getting it? It's very serious. Okay, everybody here is the top of their game. Now, they didn't just make this 40 minutes of people walking in randomly. I think they actually did this strategically, and hear me out as to why. When they are introducing people, it is one by one. So originally, I'm going to put on the copyright wall real quick. When we're getting people coming in, they try to find their body, and it's just one person. But then they, like, how do I say this? How do I use words is the real question. Ooh, wow, look at that. Wait, hold up. This is just really making me feel small. Um, but yeah, they were introducing them in an order where it felt strategic, as in what would make the most socially dramatic introduction for people as they walked through the door. There's one point where these like three massive people walk in and everybody turns and looks at them and kind of is all in awe. I don't know. It as much of this as it was like a physical game. I think a core theme throughout this entire show was also really immediately from this introduction emphasizing the importance of the mental, because as strong as you can be, it really comes down to, can you mentally deal with it? But I don't know have you ever, I don't know, you don't go to the gym, but you've probably done something physically taxing before, right? And you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
could do this for longer, but mentally I'm given out before I physically am given out.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
like the mental breaking point, and then there's the point where you're still going, but suddenly the muscle stops responding.
Oh, I'm just gonna check chat real quick. Let's see if King of the Hill, P no PG's beef is possible. What's that mean? King of the Hill, is that skating show? Because I did watch that one, but I don't know if that's right. That's the way
No,
one.
that's the one with the guy who likes the propane and the propane accessories. It's like this guy with a beer in his hand. It's not the same show.
Oh, okay. Let's see what else. 5 second delay. Yeah, there's a delay between when you show up and then when I see it. Sorry, the internet do the thing the internet do. I feel like more, but I don't have a coherent feel of time. Okay, what's the criteria for this searching? Oh, I think they also casted these people strategically as well to get everyone, as in everyone in the fitness arena, every like corner, every nook, just trying to get. They wanted to find the perfect body, so they kind of covered all of their bases. I think. I do wish there were more women, but I guess I understand that can't be necessarily even. Dude, these people, they like, it's just huge. Some of these people are huge. Okay, so that was like pretty much the intro, and then eventually they're all there, and they're ready to go. They're all eyeing each other up, and then they ask for them to put on the uniforms, and it gets real Squid Game real quick. Like, there's an announcer that comes on that's like this giant eyeball. And you have to remember, this actually happened. This is real. Like, these are real people that came in for a competition, and then suddenly they're like, strip. Well, not like strip, but like get your shirt on and your pants on, and then here's this magical eyeball, and then the first challenge starts. So I was nervous watching this because as women, I was like, oh, this is gonna be sad. All the women are gonna go immediately. But they really strategically picked challenges that I think were well balanced, and that made me happy to see. So they load into this room, and there's numbers on the floor. If you can see, there's 1 through 100 because there's 100 of them, and they just randomly pick and stand on one of them. And then this magical eyeball, which I kind of want you to hear, but I can't turn sound on, tells them that they're going to do a pre-challenge. And then the pre-challenge will give them an advantage. So I liked that because it's not immediately, hey, let's go lift the heaviest thing possible, and if you can't lift it, then you're screwed. And it's something that it's not necessarily everybody can be good at. It's hanging. Just how long you can hang is the first pre-challenge. So I feel like that's pretty fair, personally. I don't know. Have you ever tried hanging from a bar for a long time? Because it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, it hurts. My hands start to physically lock in place even after I let go of the bar. It's hard.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is the big eyeball, as you guys can see. The big eyeball. This is the all-seeing eye. Yeah. Hey, Skip! Hanging is very difficult. I tried to do, what was the 100-second thing? Did you get money? Just, like, I didn't actually do it at the place where you get the money, but I was like, that can't be that hard. And then I tried hanging in.
I think I had me do that once. You timed me and I could do it for a minute, but then I couldn't let go of the
Yeah.
bar because my hands were cramped in place.
The image of women in Korea didn't really change. Interesting. Tell me what you mean by that, Pap. Yeah, gravity. I was just hoping that you could hang by your legs, but I guess that'd be cheating. But yeah, so they step on the squares. It's 1 through 100, and then they do every other, so like even and odd, just to make sure they have room to hang. And this is interesting, right? Because if you're thinking of it from a game perspective, if it's for an advantage, it's not necessarily bad to. It's and by the way, to clarify, chat, only the top person, number 1, gets an advantage, is what they describe it as going into it. But then they kind of change that. Like, that's probably one of my first problems with this show. It's not like a problem, but it's they say, hey, the person that finished, like, stays hanging the longest, you get an advantage. They don't say, because what actually happens is, like, the longer you hang on, the more of an advantage you have. You'll see.
Oh.
I'll give you yeah, but so I think that changes everything entirely, because if you're thinking of it strategically, right? Like, I have to beat 50 people when I'm hanging on. I probably won't be able to do that, right? Versus if I just hang on longer, I'll get more of an advantage. Yeah, I'll give you Frank. It's Frigid of Doom! Hey, how you doing? I remember you. Skip. Go to sleep, you goose. Everybody's not sleeping. Maybe it's something, maybe it's the alignment of the earth or something. Something's going on. But yeah, okay, so hear me out, chat. I want to know what you guys would do, right? So if you were told you have to hang on for as long as you can and only the first person gets an advantage, would you expend the energy, to hold on as long as you can and make your arms feel like absolute freaking noodles? Or would you save that energy and be like, okay, it is what it is? Because that's actually what someone does, and that was pretty smart. So anyway, they start hanging. Let's get to the hanging, because this was neat. Oh, gotta put up the copyright wall. I'm gonna get freaking slapped. But yeah, so they get ready. They're shaking out their arms. This is the first time too, you have to keep in mind, this is the first time that everybody is going to get to see what everybody else is capable of. So do you market yourself as a target? Do you purposefully maybe fall and make people think nothing of you, right? Because then they'll be like, oh, if I have to go up against someone, I'll pick you because you seem weak, whereas really you're strong. That kind of thing, you know? I don't know. It's I don't want to say this in a crude way, but some of these people were very gung-ho on just being like not thinking things through, I guess. Like, I am strong, and maybe missing some of the strength in mental beauty as well. Does that make sense?
I am strong man and I have big muscles.
Yeah.
I will win.
Yes. That wasn't all of them, but there were a few contestants where, and I think that was kind of cool, right? Because this being a show covered so many different perspectives on fitness and made me reflect a lot. I think a good show or good movie or whatever would make you reflect a lot, but seeing some people just go, I'm just gonna raw dog this and I'll be fine. And you're like, hey, do you want to think about it for a second? And like, nah. Why would I think about it? I got big muscles. Yeah, like so Ho Hum just said, depending on the time between each challenge, a smart thing to do is to save your energy, and I 100% agree with that. But like I was just saying, you know, some people like I cannot fail. So let's get started with this, and then I'll talk through some other things. This was cool. Like, get ready to hang on, right? So they grab onto the bars. And then the freaking floor opens up, dude. The floor opens up. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll take the wall down. The floor is it. Okay, like that. Like, okay, this is real game. Whipple, okay, real ass game. It's if you into something and you start hanging on to think about what that does to you psychologically, right? You go in, you're like, okay, I have to hold on to something. Fine, no problem. Now there's a pit, and you don't really know how far the drop is.
And now you have
Now
to
you
hold on to
have to.
something.
Like, you don't have to. Like, you'll fall into water, right? But it just adds this factor of the mental game that some people very quickly were like, nope, that made me want to hold on 10 times harder seeing this pit. But Teardle, we're going over a show I recently watched called Physical 100. I just wanted to give it some attention because I think it's a pretty good show, and I think it's very insightful into looking at it and analyzing it. I think can give me, from my perspective at least, how to healthy ways on how to view fitness, or just as just I don't know, the fitness industry recently, at least here in America, has been a little interesting, a little unhealthy, to be frank. I think it's marketed in ways where it's 0 or 100. I think at least for me personally, I've witnessed people suffer from like that all or nothing mentality. It's where either I'm going to be the most fit person on the planet and that's that, or I'm going to give up and, just not even try. And I think social media plays a role in that. It's a lot. And this show has real people who have gone through intense training, and they have a very close relationship with their physical bodies, that it was I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I think if you are a person at all who has ever maybe not felt confident, this might make you feel completely sad. No, I'm just kidding. It's it's more of like, thank you very much. It's no, I'm just saying it's motivating. Ironically, it's because of the people that it's motivating in a mental way, as in it, and it's also eye-opening because as we'll get through this show, there were so many people that the grass is always greener was like the main thing I took away from this. No one was ever happy with where they were at. And I was like eye-opening because these are some of the, if I skip around, these are some of the, wow, he looks like he's having a rough time. Anyway, the most physically fit people in Korea, but just in general, like ever. He was so insane that hearing them as they got eliminated say, I'm still not enough and I'll do better, was at the same time inspiring to see them want to become better, but it's like, that it just was depressing. I think it was depressing, and it gave me perspective on myself, thinking about, maybe I shouldn't be so hard on myself, because these people were very, very hard on themselves. which makes sense because you don't achieve a physique a physique. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. A physique.
You got it
Ah!
right for like a split second.
A physique?
Nope.
A physique. Help me. Don't let me hang here.
Close.
Help
You want me
me.
to physique?
Physique. Thank you.
Good enough.
Oh, was that not it? Did I not
It's physique, not whatever. It doesn't matter. You got the word good enough. People know what you mean.
Yeah, I agree, Pep. It like for some people kind of bordered on the line of toxicity where I don't even think it was their own fault though. I think they were struggling with their own battles or their own structure of what they thought was healthy, right? It's and I think that's how you get to be for most people, ho hum, like at the top of people's sports, at the top of sports, you'll most likely find that those people are never satisfied. They never think they are enough. And that kind of makes sense why they would end up there, right? Because if you never think you're enough, you're going to work really hard and you're going to keep going and you're going to keep punishing yourself to get there. And like, yeah, you'll achieve great things, but it was disheartening to see how many people here still beat themselves up. I was like, I wanted to give so many of these contestants hugs. Well, they would probably frickin' crush me, so maybe not a hug, but just more of a, hey, it's okay. You're better than like 99% of the population. You can, but they're still not happy. So we'll get to that. But let's get back to the hanging thing because this was really neat. So the ground completely just goes away, and that's pretty scary. There was one contestant that immediately was strategic about it and thought to drop, which ended up potentially helping them, but unfortunately it didn't turn out well. But here you can see they fall down. I'll put the copyright wall back up, and they're out. And people were confused because it was instant. I think it was like 15 seconds in. And that is true. SS makes a great point. I was going to bring that up later on, but I can bring that up now as well. I think that's also a cultural thing, really, as well. How hard, like, being a hard worker is a very, like, I hate to say this, but because I'm American and it's kind of shitty, but we, at least in the schooling system when I went through it, it's quote unquote lame to be a hard worker. Like, you
yeah, kinda.
You actively get bullied for wanting to do well in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
and anyone who is doing well or wants to do well ends up being kind of ostracized.
I was one of
Yeah, yeah.
It's rough. I mean, not even just with school though, but definitely, most definitely with school. It's really with anything. You tell someone you're really passionate about something, and if it's not the conventional 9 to 5, they will completely just be like, oh, they'll just shit on you. Like, I don't know how else to say it. They'll just shit on you. So, yeah, try hard. Yeah, try harding here is, but the thing is like not even that bare minimum. Like, I'm just saying, I just want to study a little bit, like study for 15 minutes. Like, what? You're gonna study? It's like, well, yeah, yes. Like, oh, that's lame. So, oh, okay. So yeah, it's I don't know. Anyway, we're going on and on. I haven't slept, Teardle. Okay, give me a break. All right, all right. Hey Mantha, have I seen you around before? If not, hi, welcome. Let me know what you think of the setup here. I'm still messing with chat colors. I don't know if I like the purple and blue, but here, should I try another color? Whatever color I get first is the next color I'm trying. But yeah, anyway, we'll continue on. Oh, Skip said, I always heard America has such a ambitious, career-focused work ethic. I think it's skewed though because the work ethic is getting the 9 to 5. It's not a work ethic of like How would you explain that, Whipple?
I don't. It's like two clashing ideals where like if you want to work hard, you want to do well, you get kind of trashed on, but you're also expected either to get a really really good job like doctor or some shit, or like just get like a typical 9 to 5, work 5 days a week and go home and drink beer. I don't know. It's weird.
Red or green? Okay, okay. And it probably does depend on the school, ho hum. I think, because I've been studying education for a bit now, as trying to become teacher, which hopefully happens, because that'd be really nice to try to change the education system. But I've unfortunately seen a trend, unfortunately, within lower economic status schools where you get bullied harder for that, and then like private schools tend to be where it's more culturally and socially acceptable to want to work hard, and actually quite the opposite, you know. So, and yeah, I don't know. Let's try what, green. Nah, I don't. Blue, red. Let's do red. Also, I tried. Hopefully it works. I didn't give it a test yet, but I set up a new stream super chat thing where I get a notification, or you should hear a sound. I made it a weird sound, and
Oh, I remember what it is now.
yeah, yes. Let me change the color real quick. Let's see. Let's try red. We'll go with red. For a long time, hard work has been idolized. The new generation are rejecting that. Yeah. I think instead of rejecting hard work, though, I think they're rejecting what the definition of hard work is, right? They're like changing the definition of what hard work is. I think hard work now has come a lot down to like internalizing hard work like on yourself rather than working hard for a business or something else. So let's see. We're gonna start hanging. They hang for a long time. Can you guess how long, Whipple, you think they hang?
Like the longest?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 2.5 minutes because that's
No.
ridiculously long.
Oh my god. Well, maybe you should take a look at how they're hanging for reference. Some of them are hanging the way that you're thinking, I think, but some of them are not. So this is the typical way you are imagining, but if you look here,
Some of them are doing it like with the bar under their arms, yeah. I don't know if that's harder or easier.
I I don't know about you guys in chat, but I personally think hanging on this way with your arms is easier because I think the sweat or the grip on your hands, I don't know. That's just my opinion. And also from watching the show, it seems like people that decided to hang this way were a little bit less successful. So they're hanging on. Let me put the copyright wall back up. I'm not used to this yet. First stream, hang in there. So hanging on. This is also some strategy too. Here, like there was some great hanging strategies. There was, if you see this arm, putting the arm over and then holding on to that arm while holding onto the bar. You know what I mean? So there was some people that used brains on top of their strength, and they tended to do a little bit better. There was one girl who did phenomenal, and she really had this great positioning that I want to show. So you could see about half of them left here at this point. And I'll tell you what the top time is in a second. This girl here. I'm gonna put the copyright wall back up, and then hopefully you can see through it a little bit. There's this here it is. If you see this girl in the front, she was locked in. They probably lost blood to their hands and limbs pretty quickly, but look at this. She has her arms over, locked around her one leg, but then she's using her other leg to lock that leg in place. Like, she was not going anywhere. It probably was really, really uncomfortable, but she was not going anywhere. Why don't they hold on with their teeth? What? I don't understand. That would scare me. That would scare me if someone just started
That would
hanging
be
on.
terrifying if someone just bit onto the bar and
Yeah.
they stayed there.
So skip the rules for this, or just hang on for as long as you can. I think they clarified that you're not allowed to use. They didn't clarify, but they must have clarified behind the scenes that you can't use your legs, because otherwise I feel like people would have immediately used their legs. But yeah, I don't think you're allowed to climb on top of the bars. People were holding on to these up here as well. I'll try to see if I can find a shot of that. But they were holding on to this as well. But this girl was locked in, and she made it a long time. She ended up slipping, though, at a certain point. But she was the last woman up, and she was proud of herself for that. So we're getting to a point now where... See, if you see this guy here, right? So this is the bar right here that you're actually supposed to hold on to. But he put his arms up onto the bar and was gripping this top metal bar. Intimidation tactic to bite and scream through. Yeah, just start. I feel like they'd probably kick you out of the competition. But yeah, so this was common for a lot of people that lasted. And then it came down to two guys. One of them was a gymnast. And I don't know if you guys know, gymnasts do that. I just kind of want to look a picture real quick, but you know that like that it's called the Jesus pose, you know, where they stick their arms all the way out on the hanging bar and they like hang there.
I've probably seen it.
You probably seen it? Okay. But that's what this guy does a lot, so he was pretty solid. And just came down to these two here. And this one guy was basically ready to take a nap. It was that easy for him. And here we go. Right now we're at 13 minutes.
Fuck that.
13 minutes. So, yeah, I think it came down to a gymnast and someone that did training for, I think it's called HDT? No, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what it's called. Basically, military, I'm pretty sure? Search and rescue kind of thing. This guy right here, they were both just staring at each other. And then this gymnast. So this guy was asleep. Look at this. You can't tell me this isn't the stance of like a dead man. So he was just hanging there. And then they all waited down below in the water as they did this. UPD military? Thank you, SS. I appreciate it. I was going to take notes, and I did, but then I decided to wing it because otherwise it'd be too organized, and that's not what this channel is about. Is it UPT? I don't know. Anyway. So they hang on, I think, for a total of 14 minutes. And what I like about the show, personally, it has an unconventional structure compared to the TV shows that you normally get here. So we get 40 minutes of introduction. Or, my bad, 30 minutes of introduction. And then we get the first 50 contestants doing the hanging for the advantage. And then, when there's two people left and someone slips, it cuts to credits. And I like that because normally speaking, you get in an episode like the introduction, which is brief, like maybe 5 minutes, and then you'll get the challenge, and then the challenge wrapped up, and then you'll get the next challenge in the next episode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is not the Silly Order channel. I've gotten compared to not compared to, but apparently there's the disorganized chaos? No, organized chaos that was involved with EFAP. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not related at all. This is just the pure chaos channel, no organized here. But yeah, so that was the first episode, and it seems like that might be boring from my description of it, but the way they edited it, which I can bring up now too, was very enjoyable. they made it so you could follow, because there's 100 people. You might think that's a lot of people, and you're right. They don't introduce everybody. They try not to overwhelm you. They give you probably like 20, maybe 25 people that they're actually really focusing on. And then the other people, they might just put in like a brief comment or two. And then they're going to continue to give you, like, drip feed you introductions of people through the next 2 and 3 episodes. And even all the way up to 4 and 5 episodes, you're getting introductions to people, you know, like their background, who they are, what they do. So it's a little bit more personalized. But yeah, so that's episode 1. And it's pretty good. And I don't know. I liked it. So we're going to go to episode 2 now. And do you have any questions, Whipple?
I don't think so.
Okay. Wait, I'll put on the elevator music while we go to episode 2. Hope you all are having
Pokemon games.
Pokemon games?
Yeah.
Beefoy. Wait. Beefoy, all seriousness. Can you tell me a bit about Organized Chaos? Because I don't really like drama, stresses me out. And I heard that some stuff went down. And I want to know what it was. Pure chaos here, yes. Okay, elevator music back on. My image isn't working. Oh no. I broke it, guys. It's not good. It's not much. I'm just gonna click here. I hope you guys like the elevator music.
I feel like I'm about to buy Pokeballs. in the little shop.
Okay. Do you see what Pap just said?
Let me lean closer to the. Why am I here?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so episode 2. Episode 2 starts off, no filler or anything. We get to see who dropped. And it actually was the gymnast that dropped. And the hold up. UPD episode episode. I need sleep. It's been like so long. That's fine. He's the one that succeeds. So they get places as they fall. It says what place they were, like, oh, 15th place, 17th place, 20th place, and then first place. And then we do the same exact thing again, but we do it with the second 50. And they have, I love the reactions too. They get like comments as the floor opens up. It kind of has a cooking show feel, like Gordon Ramsay. I made you watch tons of Gordon Ramsay in Hell's Kitchen and stuff. They'll have the drama going on, but then they'll just have these cutaways where the contestants are sitting down and just talking to the camera about what's happening in their mind, even though that's probably taken later after the incident. They talk in like first person as if it's happening presently. They're like, I'm really nervous, the floor's opening up, and I'm thinking, what the hell? You know, like that's what's going on. But so they have a lot of those cuts in there, which I enjoy. And sometimes they just have voiceovers of the contestants of what they're thinking. So they're all trying to get up. They're panicking. Time's counting down. Some people like frantically didn't get up in time, and then the bar starts going up. And as a result of the bar going up, some people didn't get a good enough grip. It just looks chaotic. It looks chaotic. And I will not go to sleep, Pep. Absolutely not. So you can see everybody trying to get up. And then if you see these people in the background, look here. Look at this. You see this? You see these? There's tons of these people around. Squid Game people. Which made it feel more Squid Game. So, no, Tiro, I will not sleep. No. They're yelling at me to go to sleep. I will not. But yes, so that's this what they do. They go up. I don't want to draw it out too much. And basically the same thing happens again. And like Ho-Hum said earlier in my chat, there are some people that are like, I want to save my energy for later rounds because they don't know what's going to come up. And I personally think that was smarter. And they are the Squid Game guards, indeed. But there was another interesting dynamic, too, that I want to bring up briefly before moving on to the next stuff. Some people wanted to give it their all. Actually, not some people. I would say a majority of the people they focused on wanted to give it their all because they wanted to know that they did the best that they could. Because that just was a mentality throughout this. Again, I don't know. I think it was SSS that was saying it, or maybe Pap, that it's a cultural thing within Korea. Like, you work very hard and always give it your best. And I like that mentality. But it was so present to the point of where, again, it bordered on that line of, hey, maybe you should relax. Well, just relax a little bit. So people were pushing themselves really, really hard, even if they knew they weren't going to get first place to get that advantage. And it was just because they wanted to see and prove to themselves that they could do it, which I thought was kind of neat. But at the same time, if you're playing a game for $250,000, I think it was 300 million something? Question mark? Maybe? I'm not sure. I would maybe be a bit more strategic about it. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, Beef Boy. I appreciate it. Also, I love saying your name, Beef Boy. Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, that's all. It was nice because some people were disappointed in themselves when they fell. So we completed the pre-quest, and then what we get after the pre-quest is this ominous look at this board where there's a stage for 50 spots and down below for 50 spots, and they start coming on in with like the order of when they fell. Like how long they lasted on that bar is how long or what number rating they are located at. So what ends up happening is the people that did the worst got spot 100, and the people that did the best got spot 1, and then people at the top got to pick their opponent.
That's a pretty significant advantage.
It is a pretty significant advantage. So it's hold up. Let me get a good shot of it. Here's a pretty good shot, I think. There we go. This is what they had set up. So it's not, again, just the first person that gets the advantage. After the first person picks who they want to go up against, the second person gets to pick who they want to go up against, and then the third person, and so on and so on. So yeah, what strategy would you go with here, Whipple? I'm curious.
To pick as my opponent?
Yeah.
Do you get to know what the next challenge is or no?
Yes. So that should I like play what it is real quick for you?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. You guys get to see. Also, I want to know what you guys would do in these situations. Pretend you're freaking infinitely jacked like these people are. And then tell me what you do. So I have to find it without taking too long, but I'll try. I'll try my best. All right, the eyeball's here. Do. I'll put elevator music on while I do this. I have to open up a thing, people, real quick. My noodles. What are you guys doing this weekend? Anything fun? People on the re-upload are gonna... You better tell me in the comments what you're doing this weekend. On the re-upload. How about you, Whipple? What are you doing this weekend?
Probably drawing and playing the piano.
Nice.
And working. I work Saturdays.
Alright, everything's fixed. Almost. Okay, I fixed it. We're all good. Everything's back to normal. Shh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. So let's see if I can play the volume. I don't know if it'll come through, but Tito didn't do much last weekend. That's okay. Yeah, it's not gonna come through. That's okay. So the next challenge is either a dirt pit or a playground pit. Which one looks more intriguing to you? Without context.
Dirt pit or playground pit?
Yeah, dirt mud pit. I think that's a sport too. The one on the right, the dirt pit.
Oh, was there a picture? I can't see. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me get up closer. What the fuck?
So the challenge is there's a ball, and it's a 3-minute timer, and the person that has the ball at the end of the 3 minutes gets to move on to the next round.
That's interesting.
What pit would you guys pick in chat? A or B? Personally, I think it entirely depends on who I'd pick to go up against, though. I naturally lean towards A just because I don't really want to be covered in mud. And mud and water, like, you know, be all wet. But if there was, like, it depends. If it's a big person and I'm, like, smaller and faster, I think I'd go through the first one.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay, Pab
'Cause
would go
those
with playground.
really those huge, bulky bodybuilders are not always as dexterous because their fucking muscles get in the way.
That's true, that's true. But at the same time, a few people had that thought, and it, like, did not work out most times. And you'll see why. So people went through, and there's a whole bunch of strategies people went into this with. People went into this with the strategy of, there were some people, again, this whole theme of being strong, I guess. They wanted to pick an equal opponent. So some people picked an equal opponent. Some people picked up on the scale. Like, they're like, someone picked a number right next to them as well. So and then there was also someone that picked a woman on purpose, I think, because I thought it'd be an easy win. So that made a good fight to watch as well, because, like, she really gave it her all, and yeah. So I don't know. I think I'd go with A, because you could probably fling around like a monkey on that playground pretty quickly. Yeah, the challenge lasts 3 minutes. So whoever ends up with the ball at the end of 3 minutes. Let's see. What does the rest of chat think? Beef Boy would choose Mud Pit. Even if you are jacked, the mud at least serves as a potential weapon. Beef Boy, what are you gonna do? What do you mean? Like, the weapon? Do you mean
You could chuck it at someone's face to disorient them and get the ball while they're, you know, blinded, or try and wrestle it from them while they can't really see.
I just
Are there
wouldn't.
any rules against what you can do
Oh,
to get the ball?
no. There
Okay.
is, if someone gets hurt, they stop it and they reset, like, kind of reset. But it seems like there aren't, because people, like, flip each other around, put each other in chokeholds, locks. Like, it looks like it left people with quite a few bruises. Yes, ho hum, you're allowed to choke the other person. Skip says their intuition is if a jack dude gets hold of the ball, they're going to hug it and it will be impossible to get it back. That happens constantly. Actually, there's a really good fight where someone picks the playground pit and against a really, really big guy, because they go with the idea you have Whipple, where he's like, oh, I'll just get the ball before him and then fling around the playground and he won't be able to catch me. But he overruns and misses it, and then the big guy gets the ball, and it's like a Herculean task to try to get the ball back. And he does successfully. But anyway, I'm not going to go through each one because basically it's a 1v1. Therefore, it's 50%, 50 of the competitors are knocked out. So the show shows us, I don't know if it shows us every single one. If it does, it shows us some of them in quick succession, like quick edits. And then it goes through on a more detailed in-look depth of the 3 minutes for, I don't want to say characters, people, people that we are more invested in, that they've introduced. I mean, obviously because they've edited this, they know which people are going to make it to the end of the games, so they want to kind of give them more screen time. But yeah, there was some really cocky guy, he's a YouTuber, I think, or something, who decided to call out, I can't find the exact moment, but he decided to call out, hey, who wants to fight me? Thinking like, a real strong person would fight me. And someone picked him and beat him. So that was really happy. I was really happy to see that. Yeah, so let's take a look at one of each, because I don't want to bore you guys with all 50, but it's really intriguing. And they also have the contestants watch as it goes on. So let me put up the filter, and then hopefully you guys can watch it. So this is the playground one. And then let's go to the mud one. I love the mud one a lot because, I don't know, there's something about it. Yeah, it's a lot of, as Tyrtle says, it's a lot of matches, a lot of time. Oh, Ho-Hum has a strategy. Would be Arena A, choose someone slower than me, get the ball first. That's what a lot of people kept thinking and doing, but everybody that chose that option, because the ball was a lot larger than I think anybody expected it to be. And as a result, it wasn't as easy to keep a grip on. All right, let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. They're giving us too much background. I don't want background. I want the ball pit fight. Show me the ball pit fight. I'll just play it. But yeah. What is the budget for the show? I don't know. Whipple, do you mind looking that up real quick? I love how you could hear the keyboard typing. Oh wait, here, got the elevator music. Alright, here we go. Here's an example of one. Does the show do the thing where the first people to get knocked out of the show get a memory lane exit scene and it's just a single flashback from 5 minutes ago? Kind of, but not really. Yes, they have like a memory lane exit scene, but not of the show. It kind of shows them a bit more of their life, and they're like what they stood for and what they hope to do. They reflect on their body and what they want to do more fitness wise. They're like, I'm gonna work harder, that kind of thing. So here's the first one. This guy had a lot of hubris, in my opinion, because what he did was he didn't run. So like there's two gates, right? So we have gate, and gate, and they stand here. And the ball's in the middle of the pit. Oh, wait, how much the budget? Do you know what it is?
I can't find it.
What? You can't find it? Goof. Alright. Well, I'll find it later. Or someone in chat could let me know. That'd be great. But so these two guys, they're getting ready to go. Ball's in the middle of the pit. I think the guy's logic on the right, which hopefully you can see names on screen, was hoping there's no point. Like 3 minutes is a lot longer than you would think to hold onto a ball for 3 whole minutes. I don't know if you have siblings or had siblings when you're younger and ever wrestled. 3 minutes to hold on to a big ass ball, that's a long time. So what ended up happening too is a lot of people wouldn't immediately go hug the ball. Like, as you can see here, this guy on the right doesn't actually run out for it. Oh, here's the Squid Game person. The Squid Game person standing there looking all ominous. He walks out. and it gives like this intimidation factor. But the ball normally was thrown aside pretty quickly, and then people would just wrestle, at least in this pit, because they understood that 3 minutes was a long time and that you couldn't hold on for it to it for that long. And it was kind of interesting to see because I've never watched people wrestle in a mud pit before, but apparently it's a sport. Yeah, so they would just go at it. There'd be a lot of slow-mo shots of some of the takedowns. And it kind of looked really painful at some points. Like, really gosh darn painful. Especially when there was, like, some of the bigger men. Tail tag and Fall Guys. Skip. Yeah, so, like, look at this. Like, this does not look pleasant at all. But yeah, it just kept going on, and this is kind of what it looked like for most of them. I want to find the one at the playground. Oh yeah, okay, so the memory lane thing, right? You're like, hey, what happens after they lose? After they lose, they walk down a hallway, and better put that up. And they have to smash their bust. So this is the first challenge, technically. When you lose, you have to destroy the beautiful, beautiful sculpture. And they basically say that that means your body is not the perfect body because they're in search of the perfect body. And each time, I don't know, like, it's... Like, look at this, look at the thing here. I lost to a guy half my size and scolded myself. It's like... But look at his fucking... Look, I guess everybody was really hard on themselves a lot. It's just a lot. It was pretty constant throughout the whole show how hard everybody was, and I just wanted to give hugs. Give all the hugs, and he destroys it. Useless piece of muscle. Like, come on. I don't know. Whipple, would you go give them a hug?
Probably not, because I'm not that kind of. I'd console them in a different. I mean, like, be like, you're not. It's not that big a deal, man. Like, you're pretty buff.
So this was the guy here. I wanted to emphasize this one real quick. This was the person that strategically fell down in the beginning of the hanging challenge to save energy. He fell down. He was in 100th place. So everybody presumed him to be very, very weak. Going into this, he does have a lot of experience. I can't remember exactly what he does, but he does do some form of martial art, or he's like a contortionist or something like that. Buy them some ice cream. Skip, that's smart. He kind of gets his ass kicked, unfortunately, or fortunately. So, you know, look at them running out. It really is pretty short of a run, and then people would chase around the playground. Like, it's just, it was fun, I guess, because it felt fair, if that makes sense. It, again, wasn't just a random challenge of how much can you lift. It was more so strategy mixed with physical strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what does Pap say? The competitive spirit is cultural, but it is to a point that they do the best even when they're killing themselves for it because it's going to be the shame. Yeah, I get that. I got that sense, I mean, from the show. And I think it's an interesting discussion to have whether or not that's something good. So right here is when someone got hurt. So I want to give you guys an example of what happens when someone gets hurt. Here, this competitor got elbowed in the face pretty hard. So I'll show it here. He goes down. Sorry, copyright dumb. Whipple, you watching?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the Squid Game guy. So he gets elbowed real hard right there. And what they do after that happens is they reset, I think, with this time that was left on the clock, and they give it to the person that was injured. Yeah. And everybody was also very supportive when they were watching the games because they had all the other contestants watch. I kind of found that enjoyable because it added a social element to it rather than just isolating them and having the two people come in, do the challenge, record it, edit it. They would constantly be interjecting the people's opinions that were watching from above. And it made it, because I don't have a sense of the culture as much, so I was able to understand, I guess, the thought process a bit more. Whipple Whipple. Have you gone to sleep, Whipple? Whipple's asleep. Wake Whipple up. Spam
No,
Whipple in
no,
chat. No,
I'm
you're. Oh, this one was cool. There's this little like hill. This hill right here. It was fun because it reminds me of when you're chasing your sibling around a kitchen table. Like someone's crying because they're so fucking scared, and you're like, come here. That's what this thing was like. Oh yeah, Ho-Hum, I gave it a shot, and it definitely, I was way more sucked into it than I thought I would be. It was, they did a good job of making it engaging and dynamic and interesting story structure. And they didn't do stupid challenges that were unbalanced. Everything was very thought through. This one was cool to watch because it was two whammons in the mud pit going for it. Teardle screaming at you for me. Wake up. And I need to go to sleep. I did wake up Whipple, to be fair. But yeah, it was pretty violent. This one would be my least favorite, personally. From the few times I've been in a close physical altercation, it's not, like, I don't know if you guys see this, but it is not at all very pleasant looking. Very uncomfortable. You know, a lot of people getting scratched, thrown around, bruised up. But I don't know. The MMA fighters and the wrestlers had a huge advantage. And I want to find the interesting one where... Oh, here we go. I think this is the big guy versus the little guy. I think this is the one. This is the big guy. He's pretty large, which is okay. And then we get... Reminds me a bit of a show that was about 7 people trying to survive in the wilderness with nothing other than the 7 pre-picked items. Ooh, that sounds interesting.
I think I've heard of that show. I might have watched a little bit of it before.
Oh, what is it called?
I don't remember. It was like a survival show, kind of like the one that you told me that you liked, but you get to pick 7 items from like your home, whatever you want, and you get to bring it with you, but that's all you get. If it's the show that I'm thinking about.
Pap's gonna riot. Send that name. Okay, so this is what we've been talking about. Fast, dexterous, right? Right, big, slow. You would think. Here's what happens. Ready? I'll take it off the last second. So he's talking about how he could grab the ball, beat him, and then he just run around. Look at this! Look at that! Did you see what happens? I'll go back. He kicks it. He kicks it, and then he loses this opportunity. It's so upsetting. I felt so bad. It's like, oh, what are you gonna do now that he's got it? I think they do a slow-mo. They do. Here it is.
Oh,
he tries to roll it out of the way, but because that ball, it's like a medicine ball. Those big, like, 10-pound, they're big. He misses it, and then he's like, I'm fucked. So, yeah. It's not looking good for him. And this was a really fun fight to watch, because I'm going to spoil. You ready? I'm going to spoil. Gets it back. Gets it back. So the big guy puts it in the corner, and you could tell he goes through like the 5 stages of grief real quick, but he doesn't give up. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that mentality of I'm gonna give it a try anyway. Like I don't know, man. I recently just played football with a few friends, and there was someone there that was like 3 times the size of me, and he put his arm out to to block, and I went rolling across that field. So knowing the size differences in the weight class is a very important factor, and he ended up getting it back. And I think winning that way is a better win than had he successfully gotten it originally. So there's more smashing in the busts, and there's just more, and this goes on for a while. And they do a good job of each time introducing people, giving them background before they go up against each other, not giving us all 50 of them. And yeah, it was an enjoyable watch. I think it was. Oh, wait, I gotta put elevator music on, right? Next episode. That one's called Lose It and You Lose. I hope you guys like that. Well, I picked it out especially for you. Let's try another color, actually. Let's try it. Whipple, you should. No! No! Skip, no! That's okay. I hope you have a good night's sleep, Skip. Or day. What color? What color?
You asking me?
Yeah, what color? Bye, Skip. Hope you have a good night. Give me.
I like blues.
Blues? I did blue.
I don't know. What other colors exist? I don't know.
I'll do white. No color at all. No color because you couldn't pick color.
It'll match your theme.
Okay. Did trapping it under the body tend to work better than trying to stand up and defend the ball behind you? That's a good question. Yes and no. The problem, Ho-Hum, was it worked until it didn't, I guess. So some people were really tricky and smart, like the mental game, right? The person would be laying over the ball, and then the person on top would get it loose and wait until the last second right before the timer was out to knock it out from under them to grab it, and then there's no chance of getting it back. I'd say the more statistically likely one, though, was probably putting your body over top of it, for sure. But it depends if you're lightweight or not, because there's one guy that just picked up the person laying on the ball and threw them around. Like, picked them up with the ball and threw them around. White is all the color, that's right. I always get black and white mixed up when it comes to that. Because I paint, so like when you mix paint, you eventually get black. But then it depends. Paint or light, you know? Light's the...
For pigment, black is all color.
Yeah. So we get more, and it keeps going on. Again, with the unconventional episode structure. The mud one, people were covered. Like, see here, you can see last second, he's trying to get it out. And... yeah, and no, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Look at these people, man. They're so freaking jacked. I'm gonna keep saying that the entire time. But I enjoyed. I think it was. It was a very dynamic way of doing a first challenge that I was not expecting. So this goes on again for a while, and you think you'd get bored of it, but I was locked in the entire time. It could be also a good show to put on in the background and look over occasionally, but you kind of need to read subtitles if you want to get invested. It's cool to watch, but reading what the people were saying did make it feel more personal, and I got more out of that, because I did try to put it on in the background while I was editing for a bit, and I just found myself being like, nah, I really want to know what they're saying. So that's what ended up happening. I think this is again this whole episode is that, if I'm not mistaken. We get a whole episode of it. Yeah, looks like it. Oh my gosh, look at that! Look at this! Dude.
I can't see it yet.
That's okay. I'll wait. I'll wait till you see. Mantha? Oh, Mantha for late. Just look at that's fucking slow mo, dude. Just fucking picked him up and threw him down.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's like it works for some people, but it doesn't work for some others. And also here, there was an interesting aspect of in the competition, people getting their first glimpses of what people were capable of, like with strength wise, because you could hang on, but is there a dub? That's a good question. I wouldn't recommend a dub, and here's why. I think it's different having a dub when it's like maybe a TV show or movie, or and even then, I don't know. I'm really not a fan of dubs just because I know you could like the background thing would make sense, but with these being real people with wrong inflections of tone or just the way that our brain unconsciously stereotypes voices, I think it could make people come across differently have you just read the words on the screen. You know? So it's but I get what you're saying. I don't think there's a dub, but if there is, I did not watch it. Audio. Let's see. Maybe there is. Let's give it a try. Let me listen to it. No? That was still in it. Interesting. Why is it still... I picked the different one, but it's still playing in Korean for me. It looks like it has audio dubs for English, French, Spanish, German, Korean, but it's still playing Korean. Maybe I have to close Netflix, restart. I don't know. Me and tech, as Whipple could say, don't get along very well. Wait, so this goes on a whole episode, and it's enjoyable. Good watch. You watch it. And if you want to skip it, you can skip it. I don't know. So what do you think so far, Whipple? What are your thoughts? Is it what you expected?
It's not what I expected because I didn't know it was with real, actual. Like, this wasn't a staged thing like Squid Game. Like, this is actual real people and people aren't dying.
Oh.
It kind of
Right.
it reminds me a little bit of like old original Ninja Warrior before America got a hold of it, where it was much less dramatic. There are like some slow-mo shots or whatever, but it was, I don't know, very humble, very hard-working, dedicated people of all different types of body types, just trying to prove to themselves they can do it, I suppose.
Cool. I know what show you're talking about. I used to watch that show too. Hey, dude, we gotta play that Wipeout game. I don't know if you guys have seen Wipeout, but Wipeout's a good chuckle. So we go down. We're at 50 people. Like, okay, what kind of challenges would they do for 50 people? They get to this break room, and I want to talk about this break room because I think this break room is semi-interesting. Wait, let's see what Teardle has to say. Here in Brazil, there is a documentary-style dub where it starts with the original audio dub on top, and usually the dub also finishes. Oh, that's a lot. How quickly does the audio come across? Like 2 times speed? But yeah, so there's this room that they can walk into after the first challenge for the 50 people that survived. And on the wall is all of these supplements, protein powders, protein bars, and then there's like a lounge area, and then there's also a gym area to the side. So it kind of was like heaven for them, is what they were saying. Mantha played Wipeout! Mantha played Wipeout! On the Wii. Yeah, that's good. It's like from 2005 or something like that. It's quite an old game. And the reason why I found this room interesting was because technically there was no games occurring in this room. However, the competitive atmosphere still continued on. Like, this is, she's just going for it. She's just, having a good old pull up or two. But this is why I like this show. I wouldn't maybe recommend the show if it was just the challenges, because I think it'd be a little flat. I think even more so over the physical nature of the show was the social and mental aspect of what being a physically active person does to your lifestyle, and like what it means in a social context, what that looks like. And in this room, when they get to socialize, you kind of can see that more. I don't know, like, they didn't need to include this, right? This isn't necessary, I suppose. It's just an intermission, and it's not a brief intermission. It goes on for quite some time. People hang out in here. You get to hear a lot of dialogue about what's important to people, like how many pull-ups should I do and all this other stuff. And I kind of want to know some other people's perspectives on this, because I think from an outsider looking in, this could easily come across as like, Whipple, I'm going to call you out here. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Whipple often has a problem with people being overly confident. Meaning, if it comes to, he thinks confidence is arrogance a lot, when maybe it's not. But then, like, at the same time, if he spots true arrogance, like sniffs it on someone, like, oh, you're being a little stinky with that arrogance, he wants to humble them and like bring them back down to earth. How does this come across to you when they're done the challenge? They come to this room with all the stuff to relax, and then they go to the gym equipment to do like pull-ups and stuff. I'm curious.
This just strikes me as socializing, because this is their life. They're in their element. This doesn't strike me as being arrogant or anything.
Okay, that's good. I think I wouldn't be surprised if, I haven't read anything online because I actually haven't really seen this covered, but I wouldn't be surprised, if someone who maybe was watching this would, and I could maybe see the viewpoint of being like, oh, this is just people ego boosting themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it called? Jerking themselves off? Is that the phrase?
That's that's a phrase. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But no, I didn't mean to be weird. It just could, I think, come across that way to people who are not familiar with what the fitness industry kind of looks like. So it offers a perspective into that lifestyle and how normal this is, and how this is not for most people that were in this competition. At least I'd say like 90%, like 90 of them, they didn't do this for purely eagle. What? Oh my goodness. Egotistical.
Ego?
Yeah. They didn't do this for an egotistical way. So, yeah, I don't know. I like this room. I don't recommend skipping over this part, because I know sometimes, at least with Western shows, these parts in the room, like when they go in the side room to relax, can kind of be annoying or whatever. But this here actually adds a lot to the show, I'd say. It makes it, I don't know, more grounded, down to earth. You get to know the contestants a bit better. Yeah, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it. If you do decide to watch it, that's all. So then there's 50 of them left. They're all done eating, having a good time. And they walk back into the original room that I showed you guys where all of the busts were. Now there's only 50 left, and it's in this circular position. And I really liked the imagery of the bodies here. Like, I loved how they had the busts. I don't know, it added something about not marble, but like statues, right? And you think dating back to the Roman architecture, the beautiful stuff, Whipple, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Having something carved in marble, I think, is very symbolic for what the show's trying to say about having like the perfect body, like chiseled in stone, you know what I mean? the
Yeah.
whole ideal thing that you would look up to. So I don't think it was just for aesthetic purposes, even though I really like it. It sends and adds on to the theme a bit stronger by doing this. And I don't know. It's nice. I'm sorry guys, I just got a just got a little keyboard thing for buttons, so I'm gonna have fun with those. Oh, let's see what Hohem said. They did a similar thing. A Full Metal Jousting. I almost thought that was gonna be Full Metal Jacket. Trained a whole bunch of people to do full contract joust. Oh, the personalities were interesting there too. Interesting. Because I think that's really what's interesting about it anyway. To go on a mild tangent as we continue to watch, like The Last of Us, for example, has been getting really mixed reviews, and I haven't checked out too many of them yet. Just a few. And I think for me, there's two kinds of zombie things. There's the zombie movie or TV show where the focus is on the zombies. You're like, wow, there's freaky zombies, a lot of zombies. And then there's this stuff with the people and the problems that would occur within the people. I think, to me, is 10 times more interesting than the zombies. Like, that's cool. But the story of the problems and conflicts that would occur within humanity that would push us is, to me, what would make it more interesting. And I heard a lot of complaints. I did hear a lot of complaints that there weren't enough zombies in The Last of Us, which I personally disagree with, because I did not need more zombies. I needed what I got, and it was good. Yeah, anyway, tangent over. Alright, Whipple, what do you think's next? What do you think Challenge 2 is?
I don't really know
Okay,
what could be next.
well, Challenge 2 is a team challenge.
Okay.
What would you immediately be worried about if you heard as a team challenge?
A bunch of arrogant people cutting out all of the women from everything.
Well, let's just be for real. Is it 100% arrogant?
It not always, no, because sure, biologically women are typically physically weaker than men, but there's a reason that many of these women are here.
Yes, you're 100% correct with that part. And the women prove that point, and it's really cool to see that. But, like, I just don't want to, like, needlessly slander. If, you know, there are some men definitely that are way too submissive. Whoa, that was a Freudian slip. Way too quick to
Submissive.
I can't even remember the original word that I was gonna say now. They were way too quick to give into the idea that, like, oh, I shouldn't even consider it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some men considered it and thought against it. But what they did was very smart. And by they, I mean the people that designed this game. Manta. But they did this thing where they told the competitors to pick the people that they want on their team. And they, like, put these circles, like, they have a sheet, like, almost like a fucking bingo card, dude. It was kind of cool. With all of the names on it, or pictures on it, and they put a circle over it. But then what ends up happening is, oh, Hoham says a good point. My immediate concern would be having non-teamwork people on my team. Yeah, that, I agree with that. Because even if you have, like, all of the muscle, if you can't work as a team, what does it matter? But so what they do, they pick the people they want on their team. And as you'd expect, most people will probably going to pick who they perceive to be the strongest and the best. Now, what ends up happening is they have those people, the top 10 voted people, become the team leaders. And as a result, as you can see here, like, this is what that looks like. So everybody's picking. Those 10 people become the team leaders, and then people decide which team they want to go up to. So it kind of does a good job of separating the top 10 strongest people, because otherwise you probably have one team that's just going to dominate pure strength wise, you know? So this is what they do. And then it gets even more interesting because let's see how long this takes. This starts roughly at the 10-minute mark, and it goes all the way on until 10-minute mark, all the way up until the 30. We're still going. 30-minute mark. So 20 minutes. 20 minutes is spent on them picking teams, because they're really focusing on how we judge. Like, this is just a freaking lesson on how we judge people. Like, what do we consider strong? What kind of team do you want? How, like, it's interesting in the aspects of like, again, the fucking social shit. It's like not just boring, hey, strong man lift boat or something like that. So they're picking people, like top 10, and then we have this podium here on the left. Podium for the top 10. And then people are going to start picking their teams. And what I found, and you're no surprise, is that most of the women were put to the end because no one really wanted them, which was like poop. And that makes me not happy. So what happens too is then once we get the 10 people in line, the people that are remaining get to pick which team they want to go on by standing behind that person, that team leader. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah.
But then the team leader gets to decide which 4 people that they want. And if they don't want you, they kick that person like out, and then they have to go try to find a new team. And they do not, great point. They do not have any idea what the challenge is before they pick the teams, which is absolutely vital. Because if they knew, then you'd probably change strategy. So right now, most people were thinking pretty simple-mindedly and going with just raw strength, because that's pretty good most of the times in most situations. Now, this next challenge is literally my favorite, so I'm going to start skimming through this, but it was really interesting. Again, playing on that social aspect of, you know, just things it's like to be honest, like a microcosm of what happens within society at large when you look at someone and judge them. It happened in a small room, and it was organized, so it was kind of like a social experiment. Alright, so I'll skip. And I want to show you guys the challenge. Oh. That's right. Before we skip, though, I gotta get one more important detail. In the order that the team captains were picked, they get to pick which team they want to go up against. Does that make sense? So, like, the guy that was picked first, he gets to pick who guns. What would you do in that situation?
What
So,
team would I pick?
Well, let's just say you're the top pick. You're guy number 1. You get to pick down the line which one you want.
My instinct is to pick a team that's entirely filled with people who are very strong.
No,
because
I'm
that's
saying
unbalanced, but
I'm saying, like, if you maybe I'm not explaining it right, and that's completely fine. I'll try again. So basically what I'm trying to say is all the teams are loaded up now. Everybody has 5 people total. The top guy gets to pick which team he wants to go up against.
Yeah.
So, like, naturally, strategically, you'd probably think team 10, the last one, is the worst one, the weakest one, right? So
I guess.
You'd pick, like I'm just saying, like, in a simple-minded way, that's what.
In a simple-minded way, yeah. That's not what I would actually think, but that logic makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, though, the second guy in line, he picks the guy next to him again, because he wants to do a good fight. He's like, if I'm going out, I'm going out with a good fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. I immediately reflected on fucking fat ass Americans. I'm like, they would not have done that. They would.
Absolutely not. Very few would do that.
Very few, and it was kind of really inspiring to see. So constantly throughout the show was like, I am going to pick an admirable fight, an honorable fight, my bad, and I'm gonna win. If I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win being the best, not because I chose a way out of it. Whereas other people view that as, it's a game, why would you take yourself out of it so quickly? Which I think is also a fair POV. So it was really interesting seeing if people were more interested in like the cultural aspect of it and being moral in their minds versus playing the game, which was kind of like in Squid Game too. There was a lot of parallels to Squid Game. So the one guy picked the team next to him. I think team 2 and 3 went up against each other. Up against. I need sleep. Up against each other. But then team 3, I believe it was friends with the woman. So it was actually pretty cool. I should go back a little bit. The 10th place person was this amazing woman here. I cannot remember her name. I'm so sorry. But she was a wrestler, and she was very strong, as in like strong heart and strong mind, and like literally strong. And she got 10th place, so she was a team leader, and she got picked by slot number 2 guy, and they're friends because they wrestled. They like wrestling buddies. Boop, boop. These two. And she was really heartbroken over this because he said originally, he broke his word. He said originally that they were gonna fight together through this till the end, and he unfortunately did not keep that. And because she was team 10 and he was team 2, this episode's literally called The Underdogs. It's because it's all about their battle, and I really wanted her to win, and I'm not gonna tell you who wins because it's really fucking exciting. So here is what the challenge is. They get to see the challenge at the same time that we do, and they have no idea what it is. So seeing their reactions also is pretty cool. So here it is. It's this course. Here we go. The ride is so soon. Oh, no. I'll be fine. I'll just drink caffeine. I'm not allowed to drink caffeine. So here it is. This is the course. On the far left, we have a sand pit over here. Then we have up here a half-built bridge. On the other side of the bridge, we have a tube that fills up with sand. Hey, Yanni, welcome back. We are on episode 4. We're making good time, I'd say. So, we just kind of going over the basics. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, so then there's a bridge that's half built, and there's also pieces of the bridge down here as well, and a tube that you have to fill with sand. And whoever has the most sand at the end of the time wins. Pretty simple. But there is, as Hoha mentioned earlier, non-teamwork would be detrimental. Non-teamwork here would be freaking bad, like really bad. So I think that's a huge part of it. So here's what the course looks like. As you can see. Oh. Gotta put copyright thing up. Sorry. So this is what the course looks like. It has a really wobbly bridge too. It is kind of like a game show. It's like a reality show. It's for real, like with contestants. Is that what a reality game show? Is that a reality show? Are those the same thing?
Yeah, like Wipeout is a game show of sorts, like a reality game show.
Reality game show? Okay, yeah, this game show. A Korean game show. With really insanely, massively built people. So they have to build a bridge. They get to see it, and I think it's 12 minutes or 14 minutes that they get to do this entire challenge. So I think, how do I put this? Well, Whipple, I'm curious. What strategy would you go with? If you had a team of 5 and you were the team leader, and you saw this, immediately what would your thoughts be?
So if I'm understanding, you need to finish building the bridge and fill sand on the other side, right?
Yeah, and the sand, you have to like go back and forth between the sand pit, scoop it up into bags, and then carry it across the bridge and pour it in.
Uh, and where are the other pieces of the bridge again? Are they on the other side or at the bottom?
They're on the left side. They're like where the sand is.
I guess just try and build the bridge as quickly and efficiently as possible as a team.
So you'd have all 5 people working on the bridge at once?
If you can get the bridge built super quickly, I mean,
Okay.
I guess it'd make things easier.
So what the plan with what most people went with though was having one person build the bridge, which was poor. And then the teams that had people do 2 tended to do a little bit better. Yeah, it does feel like a challenge from Survivor. I just finished watching some of that recently. It's kind of exactly what it's like. So here, let's just start it off so you can see what's going on. They start off at the top. It's 12 minutes. All right, all right. They're starting up off here. And they run down, and there's the planks down there, and there's the sand and the bags down there. So most of the team strategies would have one person build the bridge, and other people start bagging sand. So that way, when they're in their mind, when the bridge is built, they'll already have all these bags of sand to pull across. But what you'll probably consistently see if you do watch it, and if not, that's fine. I'll try to give you a recap. Is that people that used 2 people to build the bridge got it done faster and better. So I don't know 5 people. I don't know if I agree with you on 5 people doing the bridge. I might be like a little excessive because it's a pretty thin bridge, if you can see here. But I do agree that getting the bridge done first was often overlooked. People just didn't.
Okay, I see. That is much smaller than I thought it was.
It's really wobbly too. Like it requires a lot more balance. And there was these little Velcro bits on the back that had to be taken off, which no one like really considered at all. But you have to like take it off. Wait, is to the train going? Okay, goodbye. That's my cool new thing. I hope you have a good night. You can come on next time if you'd like to, but I did not know if you are interested in this kind of stuff or not. But yeah. Yeah, Ho-Hum agrees 2 people for that. I think so. What else do you think? Can't think of a strategy other than people for build the bridge. Oh, okay, I see. Smaller people do the bridge and maybe an extra person or 2 to run planks back and forth. That's what I probably would do too, Yanni. So the reason why I think it was underestimated is because I don't think they were told that there was Velcro on the back. Every time in these challenges, every time the teams did this challenge, everybody was confused and like took them a minute to understand that they had to undo the Velcro and then put it around. And then what really happened was sometimes we'll get to see some people forgot to put good sticky Velcro underneath, and the planks came up. It's more of like a tortoise and the hare kind of situation, because if you took the time to build the bridge nicely and really get that Velcro stuck down, you could go across that bridge solid. But if you're rushing way too quickly, then the bridge comes undone. And I don't know if about you, but it's hard to walk across bridge that doesn't have bridge there. So
Yeah.
it's basically the team that I was rooting for, which you guys should root for too if you end up watching it, is and they made it was huge because every second really counts here. They didn't actually waste the time putting 2 or 3 more planks down here. They just went for it. They're just like, nah, we'll just hop it. And I think that time might have been the difference because it really came close. So yeah, we got that. And he's building the bridge, the other team. Oh. Wrong one. But yeah. So it's 12 minutes and they're building, so look, if you see what happens, if you see what ends up happening, They end up coming back up the stairs with the sandbags ready to go, and the bridge is not done. And it really was like a Taurus in the hair kind of thing, which I already said, but it's okay. I'm tired, and should probably go down some caffeine. And then you could see as the viewer, which they couldn't see, how much sand that they had, and they would occasionally give you shots of it. Do you have to put the planks right next to each other? Could they have a gap in the middle as well? You could. I don't see why not. I think they'd probably slide next to each other though. So like here's the shot that I would get. So this is the team I'm rooting for, with the women on it, and they're ranked 10th place. And then this is the team that's 2nd place. But yeah, so do we got sand? Sand. Not looking too good. And then, let me see. Here, this amazing wrestler lady, which you can see. How would you say this name? It's Unsil. Unsil? Unsil?
Unsil? Unsil? I'm not sure.
I just don't want to accidentally say things wrong, so I'd rather just not say it at all. She was an absolute G. An absolute G. And, oh, there's a new person. Visage? I hope I said that right. Hi. I take heavy inspiration from EFAP. I think they make great content. So that is a great compliment. Thank you very much. And early EFAP, yes. I'm still working on getting the bugs kicked out. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Welcome. I hope you stick around. We have Discord noodles if you want to join Discord. Yunsil? Thank you. I'll say it that way. But she was an absolute G. If you can see here in this frame, no one on the team is on the right for the other team. The entire... Have you ever been to the beach? Chat, have you been to the beach? Have you tried just walking on sand, let alone like bagging or lifting sand? It is a lot harder than it looks. Whipple. Sand?
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. So
like working on sand, bagging it, and moving over it with heavy bags of sand is not easy.
But why she's a G? She does it non-stop for all 12 minutes. She is just the single freaking fastest sandbagger I've ever seen in my life. She just goes and goes and goes. And they have shots of her at a certain point with the sweat dripping down her face. And I really think strangely slippery. If you're running on it, I can agree with that one. Okay, Yanni agrees. Oh yeah, Hohums. He's been here for a while. He's very welcoming. Pap has really cute emojis. Pap can always hit you with a cute emoji if you need one. But yeah, anyway, she's a G, and I don't know, it was inspiring because her team was just going, and she never slowed down the team, like ever. She just always had bags of sand ready to go. And I'm like, I don't know about you, but I would struggle. My heart would struggle with that one. So look at these bags. These are big bags of sand. They're not...
It's heavy.
Very, very heavy. And the steps. Look at the steps. The steps were a very... I think probably the hardest part. Because going up steps is hard. But then going up steps with extra weight added onto you is a completely different task. Like, really... It's testing endurance more than strength. I think, personally, the main thing that this quest was testing was endurance. So I don't think necessarily people with the biggest muscles have the best endurance. So I thought maybe they had a chance because, you don't have to be huge to have good endurance. So it goes on, and what I really enjoy about this versus shows like Wipeout that we were talking about earlier, it drags out in a way that's not a drag out feeling. It really makes you watch each thing with great detail, and they emphasize the personal aspect of it, of interjecting, I was really struggling, but I had to do this for my team. I had to push my team forward, that kind of thing. So I
It's
don't know.
more fleshed out than it is dragged out.
Yeah, I think that's a better word. Like it's just compared again to like the normal shows that we get, like Wipeout. This most people's attention span, I think, would be bored at this point, and even me, who sometimes struggles with like a twitchy thumb of like needing to watch things fast paced, I wasn't bored throughout this. And I think a reason why is because they constantly had these uh, different perspectives and different snapshots where they would show things. And I don't know, it was nice. It was good. I'm gonna keep complimenting it. We gotta talk about some good shows every now and then, right? EFAP will cover the bad shows. I'll cover the good shows. I feel so bad for them, man. They're like on the brink of death. They're like, oh, please, no more bad stuff. Yeah, so let me put the cover back up and then play a bit more. Wait, get some steps over there. Oh, look at that sweat. Like, look at, I don't know if you can see this. Let me go back a bit. There is sweat pouring off this girl's face. Look at her go. Look at her go. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I can't get my shit together. Like, look at that. Like, she's going for it. Like, just dripping sweat.
She's drenched.
Yeah.
I would suck shit at this. My endurance is worthless.
Like, even he's struggling with this bag here. It is really good lighting. I didn't even think of that, actually. But so it just keeps going on. And then that bridge, I think it's hard to tell from watching it, but the bridge required a lot of core strength too, because it's really, really wobbly. And then at the fun part, at 3 minutes, let's see if I can get a shot of it. Let's see. I'll try to find it, but at 3 minutes, the freaking, these ropes, they fall down. They fall down. Here they go. Here we go. I got it. I got it. Here we go. So like the little stability that it did have. Sorry, I don't want to cover it. Alright, see these ropes? It's providing some stability. There's 3 minutes left on the clock. Ah, there they go. They're done. They're gone. Like, and there's also an element I think people struggled with that they were talking about where they were struggling with the fear. Like they were afraid of falling. There's one guy at one point that was crawling across the bridge and he didn't really care about how it was perceived. He was just like, I don't want to fall.
Oh shit, I just saw the ropes fall.
Yeah. But this is a good frame for it as well. You can see these planks, they're coming up. Some of them are not even on anymore. And that's just a result of putting on the Velcro poorly and rushing. And I think even this team, or one of the teams, had a member that literally just stayed on the one side where the sand pit was, or the sand tube was, and constantly was fixing those planks. Like, think about how much extra work he could have done if they had secured the bridge properly the first time and weren't constantly going back to fix those planks. So yeah, I know. By the way, I also know that EFAP doesn't just shit on TV shows. They do sometimes have good. They do get a break occasionally with Andor and Arcane and stuff, but it's quite rare. Normally, it's
like
just
their version of a vacation.
yeah, true. Thanks for joining, Ho-Hum. Yeah, I should add the Discord link to the description. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I hope you have a good night. Wait, here, I hit my button for you. There you go. I always forget to do that. Oh no. Sorry, did not mean to do that. Broke everything. I cannot do anything. Stream number 1 will be one for the books, you know? Anyway, thanks for joining me if you're still here. I appreciate the company. Whipples, I dragged his ass in. Even though he's like, okay. Yeah, Yeah, so at the very end, they don't actually show the tubes. Good night. They don't actually show the tubes. And you stand on the bridge, not knowing whether or not you've won or lost. And then the loser, the bridge falls out from underneath of them. And let me tell you,
Ooh.
I was really invested in this because they this she wanted to prove that you shouldn't underestimate women, and as a woman I thought that was really nice. I was like really hoping that she did not get eliminated because I, you know, it's Super Chewy, it's Super Chewy. Hey, I had no idea you were here. Thanks for joining. I always like seeing you around. Oh, I don't have my copyright thing on. So they're all standing there. And I really liked this paradigm, I think you would call it. The team that I was rooting for, they were all like, oh yeah, that's right, the lighting. Who said the lighting? Who was that? The lighting was amazing. Visage? I'm so bad with words. That's fine.
I think you're right.
The lighting here is so nice. So nice, so nice. I hope you're doing well, Super Chewy. Hope you do well. But yeah, the lighting here is really nice. And so her team was holding hands, facing the other way, away from her, not looking, like just holding hands. And then his team was just like sporadic, not really, I don't know. Like, see, look at that. Look at that. I don't know. That's just powerful. It's just powerful imagery. I just find it powerful to me. So, and then it cuts and ends right before we know who wins or loses. And again, I really like that. I like ending on a cliffhanger. Just enjoyable. It makes you want to click. You gotta get that. You gotta know what happens. Those kids. Jungle adventure game shows like Legend of Lost Temple. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. So, Whipple, who do you think's gonna win?
I hope the girl wins.
And when you watch it, for some reason, you know, also sometimes I try my hardest to be aware that like they're editing it in a way to try to make me feel happy about the outcome, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But there were some times where I was very unsatisfied with the result of something. But let's see. Here we go. Let's see who's gonna win. I didn't really think about doing the dub. I really wonder how that would have changed my perception of this. You know what I mean? Because I think an experience is completely different when you watch something that's dubbed versus actually the real original voice, especially
Yeah,
voice
I
acting.
agree. I don't like dubs as much.
So yeah, it was really anticipatory. They're building up all of the emotion. Who's it gonna be? She's talking about how she doesn't want to let things down, let her team down. And then he falls. And they have this great celebratory moment. And it's just, she's in shock and they're so happy. Like, I don't know. It's nice. I remember being like mildly tearful because I'm sensitive. Oh, here we go. Look how close this was. This is why you don't give up. Look how close this was. It's so close. It's very, very close. It's like a millimeter? I don't know. Not a millimeter. That'd be... It's a millimeter on my screen. Oh my god, I'm so tired. It's okay. I would love to do a 24-hour stream one day. That'd be fun.
Oh my god.
Oh, your ass would definitely be dragged into that. You kidding me? You'd have no choice. But yeah, so they did a good job, and it was really nice to see them win on such a close margin too. They really fought tooth and nail for every bit of sand, and it was good. So we do this again with other teams. We learn that sometimes it's best to listen to each other, because there's a team where they're just each doing their own thing, not really paying mind to, like, you know, someone else is crossing the bridge and I wasn't paying attention and now I have to stop and wait, and it's just team communication. It was nice. Team sports are fun. But then again, at the same time, I was thinking it kind of must suck too a little bit if you're very you're very strong, very good, and then your teammates suck. Like when you get stuck in a group project and then you're more than willing to collaborate and be a good team member, but then everybody else is kind of shitty.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Whipple, you should totally send me a super chat, by the way, just so they could hear the sound.
I don't know how to do that. How do I?
That's okay. It's okay. It's not even that funny. I don't even know how to be. It's just my sneeze. I put in a sound clip of me sneezing, so if I ever get a super chat, it just you get to hear me sneeze. Cuz I'm a goofy goober. Did anyone kind of assembly line? Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, they did do that. There was a team that did do that. I think they won actually. But then I think the one guy that was going up and down the steps constantly, this guy here. This guy. He did not pace him. He just kept going. Like he just went and went and went until he was unwell. Very unwell. Oh. Let's see if I can find any. What's up?
Damn it. I don't have my wallet.
No,
I was gonna try and do it.
It's okay. I'm kidding. No worries. One day, it'll just be like a little achoo. I was thinking about making my sound ambiguity. You know that word I used to not be able to say when I first, like have it be the goofy sound. But yeah, so the teams go up against each other. It's sad because you see some of your favorite people go. Did it not work? Oh no.
Shit.
That's not right. Hold up, Yanni. I will personally send you the most crispest, clear sound ever. There we go. Why no work? Hold up. I'm sorry. I'll refund. Did it work for you on your end? Maybe it just doesn't show it for me.
I didn't have the sound on, but I put the sound on for like the second, whatchamacallit, super chat, and I didn't hear anything.
No.
It also did display it on screen. Isn't it supposed to do that?
It is. I set it all up, all nice and fancy.
I see the thing that came up on screen.
Did it do it? It did it? It did the thing? Did it make the sound though? That's truly what is the important part.
That's funny. The anti-copyright thing is over the the super chat.
It's okay. The last stream was a lot more chaotic. Let's see. Didn't hear anything yet. The overlay did pop up though. Okay. We're making progress. Making progress. Sound volume all the way up. Let's try. I'll do a test. This is a test one. Let's give it a test. Oh, I don't actually hear it at all. Weird. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this on stream. This is not very professional. Professional streamer of me. It's Visage first was second.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my goodness. So it did pop up. We got that. Oh, you guys are so cute. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe my sneeze is too tiny. Too tiny of a sound.
It's too powerful and the computer can't pick it up.
Instead of bathwater, I just send people pictures or people audio waves of my audio waves. I need sleep. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, wait. That's the button for super chat. It's a cool button. I'm sorry. Thank you though. That's a whole cool. You guys are cool goobers. But I don't know what I did differently. Okay, we're gonna risk messing up all my audio for this because it's worth it. Because you guys were kind enough to super chat me, and people that are watching post stream, they can just skip. Let's see. Have any of you ever used Streamlabs? I'm curious. Do you guys do YouTubes or streaming? Yeah, you can talk about sleep issues.
I think they're
OBS
saying,
was-
can they talk about your sleep
Oh,
issues?
my sleep issues. Sure, we can talk about my sleep issues. Oh, I can talk about my sleep issues. We can talk. I talk in my sleep. Ripple, you wanna talk about that? You could tell.
That's a big you haven't done it in a little while, actually. If you have, I haven't been present for it.
I do
But,
talk in my sleep.
It's pretty fun. You get accusatory sometimes, like in your sleep.
Okay, no sound still. What is wrong with my freaking stream? They've created lore. This is true. This is true. Right, every great hero has to have their arc, right? I'm afraid of making it too loud that it's just freaking.
That'd be really funny.
All right, well, I'll continue on. I'm so sorry. I'll personally send you after this stream an audio wave file of my sneeze. I just didn't know. I thought it was a good sound for super chat. You know? Just like achoo. But now I have no sound and I think I messed it up. Wait, I have one last idea. Friends. Noodles and gamers. I have one last idea. I love how I also have like a pixelated version of both of our icons as Discord too, because I couldn't figure that out. You know? It's fine. We have to have growth, okay? If you start off... Oh, wait a second. I think I might have figured it out. Hold up, I might have figured it out. Let's see. I did! There it is. There it is. What do you think? Did you hear it?
I can't hear it yet because of the delay. Hold
Okay. I gave 2 sneezes, 1 for each super chat. Thank you, Yanni. Thank you, Visage. Visage? Oh no, Visage.
on. No, you're right. Yeah,
Oh
Visage.
no, your name's giving me
You're right.
your name's giving me a heart attack. And I'm gonna give you 1 extra sneeze just for putting up with the inconvenience of me. All right, thank
Oh,
you.
it worked.
Thank you so much. So, yes, I think I'll probably change the sound every week because, I don't know, that way you never know what sound it's going to be. It's always going to be a custom, silly sound. It's never going to be the same sound. So, this is the first stream that it will be sneeze, and only stream is be sneeze. And yeah, you got the custom sneeze. You're welcome. One of the times I'm just gonna fucking rip ass into my microphone.
Right into the expensive, but hell yeah, HD quality.
Oh, this is like a $60 mic. It's not too bad.
Nicer microphone.
Yeah. Well, that way it can really capture the
nuances of
the nuances of a beautiful. I'll make sure to eat like some beef or something beforehand. You know.
Sweet dude.
I'm accidentally fucking up my stream setup as I do this too. I'm incapable of existing. I don't know if you see in the description, but I put like something along the lines of like my first attempt to be a real streamer. It's going so well. I'm really doing a good job. I hope you're proud of me. Mom, I threw up. I kind of want to make another one that was chaotic as hell, like last time. Just speaks.
Another stream layout.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna
That was
continue
a
on.
Fucking trip.
Okay, so teams get eliminated, blah blah blah. Kind of sucks sometimes because you try your hardest and your team sucks still. Then we get more social aspect again. People being overly confident was true too. I wasn't sure sometimes if people were being overly confident just as a result of like trying to reassure themselves that everything was good. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but hi, welcome. I struggled to oh wait, I have to burp. Hold up. Okay, I'm good. I did not burp. I didn't want to embarrass myself with both. 10 people were going to hear me burp live, and I'm not ready for that, you know? Oh, okay, I got the sniffles now, too. I feel like everything's going wrong. Okay. But hi, welcome. Let me know what I can call you. Some people were overly confident, and then they got beaten, which made me happy because it was to the point of where it was arrogance, but I think some people were just using overconfidence to help motivate them, you know, like saying, oh yeah, thank you, chat, for being so welcoming. You guys are a pretty cool chat. So I think slowly but steadily growing a really nice community, and it's really nice having you around. And I have to remember to put the frickin' Discord link when I post this afterwards. It will have. Oh, actually, can I edit it live? I can do that. Whoa, this is crazy. I can do this. Watch. Ready? Hold up. Ready? Wait. There it go. I should have it now. In theory. Okay, anyway. Continuing on. I moved my bar to the side. What is going on?
Did I see the clip that? Yeah, I might have. I can't remember.
Oh, I found out how to turn sound on. Wow, we're really making progress.
Oh, whoa, that did update live. I didn't even have to refresh the page.
Cool, I figured out sound. That's very good. Now I can show you guys sound. But so yeah, I wanted to see if I could find a quick shot of when people really don't put the bridge on well. It goes everywhere. This was the guy that was crawling on the floor. He really was scared, and he didn't want the bridge to go all over the place. It was kind of mildly here he is, crawling. Giving it a good old crawl. Oh, I have the sniffles, dude. I have a cat, and I'm very, very allergic to cats. So, but I have one. So, I made a life choice that my body didn't agree with. Let me see if I can find, because the bridge does go absolutely flying at a certain point. Like, they run across it, and all of the pieces come up. I don't know if it was this guy. Post links in the chat and pin them as a stream post. Oh. See, I was trying to put in the chat one time and then didn't like any link at all. It didn't matter what link I was trying to do. But I'll give it a try. I want to learn how to do polls because I really, really like polls. So let's see. This one came out to be pretty close. It was a time lapse here. I'll take it off real quick so you can see. This one was not close at all, but look at the dude. Didn't even have a chance. I know you're in a delay, Whipple, but it was probably, I don't know, a complete shutdown? What is that called? When you steamroll somebody?
I know what you're talking. Oh wow, that is quite the brutal ass beating. Jesus, man.
I also like how they hide it because you just kind of have to guess as the viewer, and also they don't know, and you also don't know as the viewer. They sometimes occasionally give you clips of what it looks like, but rarely. I'm trying to find where they really struggled with the bridge. People underestimated the importance of the bridge, and everybody was just like, just the sand, the sand, the sand. Oh, copyright. I'm getting bad at that. I need you to yell at me, Whipple. Just freaking scream. Just make
I can't because of the delay.
We'll do watch together next time. But I figured, no, I just woke you up, get you in here. So their bridge is falling apart, like apart. It's not looking good. And yeah, just get invested. And to be honest, that's kind of why I liked it. I just got lost in it for so long. Got lost in the sauce. I just got absorbed. And it's kind of rare that I feel that way towards a TV show. And it wasn't a senseless... See, the thing is, like, Wipeout, right? It could be fun to watch. But it doesn't necessarily have anything to say. in regards to the world that we live in. It's just fun to watch. This, as it is also fun to watch, it is making statements, like, it is having its moment with commentary on what it's trying to tell you. And I think it's kind of cryptic. And I don't know if that's just me, but I'm not sure if it's trying to deliver a message of this is the perfect body, or look at how silly the standards are for what a perfect body is. Like, because there's so many strong people that got eliminated, and at the end, when there's the one person left, it's like, we found the perfect body, and we're going to continue to hunt for like another perfect body. So there's probably going to be a season 2. But it kind of seemed, because the ominous eye, right, the voice, the Squid Game voice kind of thing, made it seem like there was, how do I put this? It was potentially satirical, potentially trying to comment on how goofy it is to constantly have these ideals that are maybe missing the point. So anyway, yeah, it is good. All right, so we get more of them relaxing. I thought this part was fun in here because they just start having like a makeshift competition where they try to jump as high as they can for no other reason than they're having a good old jolly time. And they're putting mats up. And this, again, you would think would be cut out because I think this is 10 whole minutes that we get of this. 54 all the way to 54 to almost 10 minutes. Almost 10 minutes. So this whole fun little shenanigans here is just because. And I think it adds to us understanding their character, their person, you know, and also they jump really high, like really, really high. Kind of cool. Yeah, let me skip to the last one. Also, if you're in chat and you have an opinion on this, let me know. I was thinking about doing coverage on a movie I recently watched called Animal World. I haven't really seen any coverage on it, and I think it's kind of older, but I wanted to see if you'd be interested, if you've heard anything about it. Because it was something unique. Like, look at how high this jump is. What the heck?
I don't think I could even jump that high.
Really?
I jump pretty high. I don't know if I could. The last time I tested how high I could jump was in high school, and I've become significantly less physically active since then, so.
Yeah, you could jump really high though. I remember that. You used to jump like you could you could easily jump over a car. I remember you just
My highest that I could do was probably about, I'd guess like 5 feet. Do you remember there was an old gymnasium, and when they were stacked up like against the wall, they would like all one. It was kind of like a little wall of just bleachers smushed up together. Remember how high that was?
Yeah.
I was like a couple inches from just being able to jump on top of it from a standing position.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think that was about like 5 feet.
Dang. You should enter a contest or something. I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, I was just thinking that you probably could be able to jump up onto these guys. But oh, cool. Super Chewy, Pap, and Yanni. I'll definitely do it then because I think it is like it's pretty bad, but it's pretty good. It's bad and good. You know what I mean? It's like it's interesting, and it doesn't have to be either a perfect show or a horrible thing to cover it. Just cover something in between, and yeah, I don't know. See what people think about it. Maybe it'll be better than I think or worse than I originally thought. But so they hang out and they play in these games for even longer. And once again, we get this imagery, which I love. The imagery of the remaining bodies here on the statue stands. So now, you're like, okay, this, how many people left? 20, wait, I can't do math. If there's 25, right? 25. Yes. 25. There's 25 people left. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pep. I'm sorry. 25. Suddenly, at the very end of the episode, they announce that 5 people redeemed themselves and are coming back. And then they show a sneak peek of like people starting to walk in here, like their legs behind the footage, or behind them is the camera. And people are clapping. And some people are pissed off about this. And then the episode ends there. And this next one, I really liked a lot. Like, it just keeps getting better. I don't know. I was never bored. I was never upset with the challenges that they picked. I would say that I wish they spent a little bit more time. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm gonna hang on to that thought. Hold up. I'm gonna let that thought marinate in my head before I share it, okay? Because it might be a little stupid. But it's okay. We're all about stupid here. So, this challenge is really neat. It's really creepy, too. Not creepy, but kind of creepy, but not creepy. Oh, definitely. Cool, Yanni. Let me know when you watch it. What do you think? So, all of their statues of the people that were eliminated are hanging from the ceiling with, I want to say bondage rope, but I don't know if that's quite right. If you could see. And inside or attached, I think it's attached, the rope is an equal amount of weight that's 40% of that person's body weight. So what they do to redeem themselves is everybody holds on to their own bust for as long as they can, and the last 5 people remaining get to go back into the competition.
Okay.
Which I think is really nice. And it's equal and it's fair because it's based off of your own body weight. So if you're 100 pounds, oh gosh, my math's going to be awful, but if you're 100 pounds and it's 40%, they're going to put a 40-pound weight onto your bust, and that's how long you have, like it depends on your own weight. So I thought that was fair, and I really like fairness because often with these things I'm like, it's not going to be fair, and I'm going to be upset. So it was fair, and fair good. Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. So this was really fun. This was really good because there were some people here at this point in the show that you kind of are invested in. They've done a lot of they've had a lot of screen time, and you're like, I really hope they get back in. And it's just like a unique, I wouldn't have thought of this. It's just very unique. And I don't know, I'm used to the typical stuff of like fight to the death and you lose. Or like something stupid like the poking each other with a stick and you fall off and you lose. Go into the foam pit. What's that called? Jousting?
Sorry, I was looking at something in the Discord.
That's okay.
Apollon sent a video.
Oh.
Oh, it's this. Oh, I never saw this.
Do you want to send it my way?
Yeah, it's in the... Yeah, here, I got you.
So, anyway, they all start, and it's pretty quick that people are dropping out. I was kind of surprised by this. My guess is that they were tired. I was not expecting... Jousting? I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called.
It's a stream.
Oh, yeah. That was the stream layout I was gonna have. I
didn't see it until just now.
No, Pap, yeah, that I took inspiration from that. I didn't want to like copy it exactly though, but I might think of making another one up for that. But anyway, so people dropped pretty quickly, and this is something I have a question about that I want your guys' opinion on. I don't know because I don't know. I'm curious if they had days, like breaks in between the challenges, or if the challenges were back to back. Because if the challenges were back to back, like it kind of looks edited to be, it would be really hard on your arms to constantly be taxing that way. And I think that's probably why some people dropped out quicker. Maybe some people just slipped. That could also be a reason. Like this guy here, he slips. If you keep an eye on the top left right here, He slips, he's leaning far back, and you also can't step off of your platform.
Okay.
And then he falls off, so he has to drop it because he falls off. And then it makes a beautiful smash. Like, it smashes really nicely into the ground. So that's satisfying as well.
Are you allowed to like wrap the rope a little bit around your arm to give you more grip?
I don't know because I don't think I saw anybody do that. Maybe? Let me see. I don't remember anybody doing that. Everybody was just holding onto it with two hands. Like, no one was wrapping it around.
Okay.
Like, this guy's really strong, but again, it's fair. It's 40% of your body weight. So, you have to, I don't know, it depends. Because if you think of people that are like bodybuilders, where they might have a bit of a stomach, but then I think it's fair. But then some people are arguing it's not fair. So I don't know how much more fair you can get. Yeah, probably against the rules, just hand strength and willpower. That's where I thought this one girl was really neat because she ends up. See, this is where the complaint comes in. This one girl ends up getting back in. Oh, Wikipedia said that the final was reshooting at least 2 times. Oh, interesting. We're gonna check that out together after I'm done going through this. I'll pull that up on the screen. Thanks, Pap. If you're still around while I'm doing that, we'll check it out together. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Actually, I kind of want to do that now, but we'll wait till the finale. But anyway, so they're holding on, and one of the girls, gets it, and was hearing because it's like, so lightweight because she's very thin. But again, like I personally think it's fair. What do you think, Whipple?
It's fair enough to me. Try lifting your own body weight with just your hands and a rope. It's heavy. Even if you're a relatively light person, your own body weight in comparison to you is pretty significant.
So here she is. She was really in a state of zen. She had a good posture too. She had like her legs here, as you can see. She had a good lean, whereas other people were relying more on their forearms, where she was kind of relying a bit on her shoulders, her legs, her back. And I think that's probably why she did as well as she did as well. That's probably why she did as well as she did as well. Question mark. Maybe I should have slept before my first stream. That probably would have been. People are gonna think I'm just a rambling goofy goober. That's okay. So this goes on, and it's really enjoyable, and I won't tell you the results, but I will tell you the results, and it was 5 people, and they were the peoples that you don't know because I haven't been using names. Yes, some have gloves, and I think they were offered to them, the gloves, because they also had chalk. Some of them had chalk on their hands, which I feel like I would have preferred over gloves because I just trust my hands more than I do gloves.
Mm-hmm.
So then this next part was awkward. The 5 come in, and most of the people in the room are pretty upset at this point that Frigida Doom has 100% the correct opinion. Sleep is for the weak. But everybody was pissed off because they're like, well, 5 more people just came back into the competition, and I was closer to the money, but now, I'm not as close to the money anymore, and it's upsetting. So they wanted them gone, and what happened was that they ended up making a team. Like, the announcer, the eyeball, says that the 5 people that just joined back are making up the 6th team. Now there's 30 people total. So they're really the underdogs because they were eliminated and no one wants them there. Everybody's agitated with them there. Now I think for the first time, I have a problem with the show, and here it is why. They decide to tell in advance what the challenge is, and they have to team up with another team. So they decide to tell everybody in the room, Whipple, that the challenge is they have to move a 1.5k ton boat onto a dock.
Okay.
And then they say, pick another team to team up with. You guys decide. That is such a strength-based fucking challenge.
Yeah.
That I
Just pick
am...
all the fucking
Yeah. I am...
absolute monoliths of human beings.
Correct. I immediately was like, dang. The women are out. And I'm not gonna spoil here. The women are out. Because they were on a team, right? And like anybody that's smaller, they just it sucked. I was like, why? I was kind of annoyed that they decided to say what the challenge was ahead of time, because they just had an amazing opportunity, in my opinion, with having the people learn a lesson about what definition of strength could be from the sand challenge, right? Because we learned in that challenge endurance was really, really important. Balance was very important as well, and teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so like, okay, well, maybe they learned a lesson or something that they might pick differently, and maybe they prefer to have like more dexterous people or something. But instead, they just say, you're gonna have to move something really, really heavy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just, there was, and then the team, I kind of was like, dang, they're fucked. And guess what? They get fucked. No one wants to team up with them. This goes on for a while. They give us like 10 minutes of like the social, and again, I like this part. It was about 10 whole minutes of the social interactions about who wants to team up with who, and the reasoning, and what people define as strength. And the women and the underdog team, so the underdog team from the first time, right, team 10, and the team that just came back, they'd get teamed up together. So they're the ultimate underdog team, these 10 people. And how it works is they go in separately at 3 different times, and the team that has the quickest time of moving the boat gets gets to move on. The second team gets to move on, and then the third team is eliminated. So the person with the lowest time is eliminated. And I was pretty pissed off because I think everybody knew what was going to happen. They did really well, though, with editing to try to keep you in suspense, but you could just tell that the team with the smaller people, even though they worked really well together and had great teamwork, physically couldn't move it as fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yanni said, can you imagine if there was a secret pool ring like the flagpole challenge in Captain America? That would be cool. But unfortunately, it did not go that way. So this is what the setup looked like, by the way. Let me quickly take the thing off so you guys can check it out. This is a lot cooler than I thought of. It's more complicated than I originally thought, and more complicated than they originally explained. They didn't say anything about these barrels being buried in the sand. And on top of that, hello! Aw. Thank you for stopping by. Fenty? Henty? Sometimes P's are silent, Whipple. I'm scared.
Fetty.
Fetty? Fuck! Why can't I say anything right?
I don't know where the N came from, but...
It's from the sleep deprivation, you goof.
Ah, that would explain. Yeah, okay.
Oh. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, welcome to my fast official stream. It's very sophisticated. I have a sneeze sound just for this stream only. It is it's from Superchats. I have fun little soundboards like oh, I didn't get to use this one yet. Ready? You guys wait, Elias, say something like really sweet.
Really sweet?
Yeah.
Your stream is good.
But yeah, so I thank you for joining. But we're almost done. We're on episode 6, and it's gonna fly from here. Oh, Longmans, how the heck do they do this? I'm like dying in my chair, gotta fucking piss. All right, actually, Rags goes pee a lot, and I appreciate it because he's a good doggo, and doggo's gotta go pee. You know, gotta let him
He's
out.
a good doggo.
So anyway, there's barrels buried in the sand, and there's also logs that they're going to help use to move the boat across the sand instead of just raw dogging the boat across the sand. Like
dragging it. Yeah.
which would have been insane. Yeah. So I was like, okay, this requires more teamwork than I originally thought, and it's not 100% strength. But let's be honest, it's really strength heavy. But maybe, I was thinking, maybe these barrels and the teamwork required with the logs might give the underdog team some advantage. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough of a barrier that was different that could create that difference for them. So, yeah, they would come in, they'd make a plan together real quick. And then, like you could see here, I can't read Korean, but this is strength, I'm presuming. I think this is endurance. I'm not sure what the other ones are. I do know it's like they have this at the very end, the 5 pinnacles of health or peak fitness or something like that. So let's play some of it while I talk about it. It's a big ship, as you can see. It has these little things sticking out the side so you can push from there. And interestingly enough, most teams decided to not use those too often. The volume was really low on the alert. On the alert? Pap, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Might mean the like awe soundboard.
Oh yeah, they're all very low, but I don't know how to fix it right now, and I don't want to break my stream.
That's valid.
I promise I'll fix it next time. I promise. And then also, I think the ramp is probably the hardest part because it's going up. So they broke up the tasks. There was a barrel that you had to like break open in a box with a sledgehammer here. And then you had to dig up all the barrels. You had to move the barrels into the boat first, and then you could drag the boat across the sand. And you had to hook it up onto the top here. And the second you got it hooked, that's when your time would stop. It kind of goes as you expected, but the way they did it again made it interesting. They did each team one at a time, and they kind of showed you the clock sometimes, but not super frequently, so you had a kind of an idea, but you didn't really know enough to know, like, oh, this team's behind or this team's ahead. But yeah, they had really good teamwork. And this thing was heavy because it wasn't just 1.5k tons. It was 2k because the barrels totaled added it up to 2k.
Oh.
That is really heavy. And what I really enjoyed was this humbling that occurred each time with all 3 teams, because they would get ready to go move it, and it wouldn't move. It wouldn't. Whipple, it would not move. Whipple, it was the biggest strong, like, here, I'm gonna get ready to take the copyright thing off. Here we go. It was look at them. It's like they have no idea what to do. It just wouldn't move.
2 tons is insanely heavy. I think that's 2,000 pounds. Let me look up how much 2 tons is.
I don't think 2 tons is 2,000 pounds. What? That would make sense. No, I don't think I said ton. Did I say tons?
Yeah. Well, you said 2k tons, which I know wasn't.
Listen.
It's not 2,000
Listen.
tons. It's 4,000 pounds. Sorry. Each ton is 2,000 pounds.
Wow. That's what? That's a lot. So let's see if we get a reaction.
How many kilograms it is?
The reaction here. They're gonna try again. It's just not moving. Every single team ran into the same problem. It would not move. And I think this was interesting again because for me, I think the connection between trying to be physically fit is mostly a mental battle. And it's neat to see that externalized because at this exact moment with all 3 teams, it was really a matter of, can we keep the momentum going and not let our spirits dip down and feel defeated, because it was not budging. And I think this team, the first team, recovered pretty quickly mentally, but there was, I think, the second team, when it wouldn't move, I think it wiped a lot of energy out of them mentally. And I think that's just it's as a human that lives the human experience. Okay, here we go. 1.5. It's 2K. Yeah, 2K. Just wouldn't move. This thing would just not move. So I don't know. It was good. It was good. It was entertaining. And again, this whole first episode, my bad. This whole first team lasts for a good, I'd say, 15 minutes. We get to watch their experience. Oh, then here they show off their calves. Dude, look at that leg. What the heck?
I can't see it yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing the cannon legs.
Dude, it's not even like feasible to be like that. Oh, actually, this is a great point to talk about this here. I don't want to shit on it just in case it's not, but I was suspect of a few people not being natural.
Oh, that's possible, yeah.
And that kind of, I don't know. I know some stuff. I mean, but I don't know enough to want to confidently say things. But there's just a certain amount of knowledge I have where I was looking at a few contestants and saying, I think they have to be taking something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's quite fair to have. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Have you seen any of the people that I've shown you so far? Like, some of the people just, I don't know.
That's interesting.
It's the size of Pap's head. So I don't know. It's I think something that's worth discussing. Maybe we could see if there's any Reddit threads about it after, or I don't know. But like I don't know. I literally don't know. That's why I keep saying it so much. But it promotes an unhealthy version of what the best body is, if that's the case. So we'll continue on. The second team, pretty much the same thing goes on. Everybody has a different pacing when it comes to, like, some people struggle with the logs, some people struggled with pulling up on the ramp more than others, and it was really that like last 3 or 4 meters up the ramp that took everything out of the people. So then we're gonna go on to episode 7. We're just gonna keep that. See, I agree. I don't think that leg is natural, but it's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. Some people do have good genes, and some of them have been training their whole lives. Like they're like, I've been doing this since I was 5, doing gymnastics or whatever, and this is just my whole life. So I'm like, well, maybe if it's your whole life, it could be true, because I haven't personally trained my whole life. But another important note here. This is our underdog team. They all look very strong. However, they are a lot thinner than the big muscly people that we have on our other teams. And they're thin. And I think there's 3 women on this team. So, just there's a lot going against them. And on top of that, one of their team members is injured. They had hurt themselves on a previous obstacle, the playground one with the ball.
That sucks.
So he has this injury here. He has, I think, a sprained ankle. And he has to limp. I'll show it real quick. And that's, I don't know. It just was like, dang. I really wanted the underdogs to win. It would be great to have an obstacle course. It'd be nice to have a combo of strength and agility. I agree. Just because the way they teamed them up, by telling them what it was ahead of time and then letting them team up themselves, what did they expect was going to happen? Maybe they were hoping it'd be like the super cool underdog story where they really come out on top or something.
Dude, it's 4,000 pounds. Come on.
So that they gave it their best, and occasionally they would give us a little hint at the time on the bottom to know what their pacing was in comparison to others. But unfortunately, I'll just skip to the end. This team, the underdog team, with the 5 people that came back, and then the team that won the sand challenge, they get eliminated, and then we're down to 20 people left. And they have a whole moment here. They like played out. They show people giving their respects, saying you played well. And then they make them break their busts in front of everybody. Which, I don't know. You
That's
see
a
this
bummer.
here? Yeah. Let's see, what do people think? I wonder if they could have used some of the logs as a lever somehow. That's an interesting idea. I don't know. If it's just protein, what's with the fancy letters? Hey, Pep? Protein? Am I reading that wrong?
Oh, they might just have like the E different on their keyboard.
Oh,
or something.
okay.
I don't know.
But if they get other thing, yeah, it's kind of cringe. Too many veins from the steroid effects. I forgot the term, but it's from increased blood flow. Natty is usually much leaner and, quote, even instead of bulgy. Again, I'm not an expert on it, so I can't really say, but I would be really interested in getting someone's opinion on it. So they have to break their own busts, basically saying like, oh, your body's not the perfect body. And I don't know. I like the symbolism of it, but I think the body's good as is. And I ain't one that like I am all about improvement is the thing. I'm really about improvement and wanting people to be healthy and the best version of themselves. But these people really left feeling defeated, and I just didn't like that. Again, give them all hugs or ice cream, whatever it might be. Now, Whipple, I was so excited to get to this exact point for you, personally.
Oh boy.
Yes, I am so excited about this. It is, you know how you what are you obsessed with? A few things. Well,
Elden Ring.
okay, that's fair. That's fair. There's a few other things though. One of them being mythology, right?
Okay, yeah,
This one was themed around that.
that's cool.
So it was their last challenge, and this was going to eliminate everybody except for 5 people.
That's a lot. Okay.
Yeah. So the way it would work is there were different challenges based off of a different mythological tales. Like, you know, the one with Atlas holding the world on his shoulders?
Yeah.
Like, that's one of them, for example. And in your team, you'd actually, or not in your team, not the ones that exist, I'm sorry. You'd be pinned up against people doing the same activity as you, and whoever won that one would move on.
Okay.
And then we get to the challenges here. So these were the 5. I'll explain them quickly because I can't really play the video, but we have Atlas holding the world on his shoulders, and that one was holding I think it was 200 pound something? I think it was 200 pounds, around there. Rock over your head for as long as you can, and the last person is standing holding it gets it. Yeah, I felt motivated to get up off the couch and do stuff, but I also felt tired watching them at the same time. Then the torch one, which was like I forget which one that is with mythology. Like the endless flame. Prometheus, thank you. You had to run across an obstacle course and grab a torch flame, torch, and each time if you didn't grab it, it was like musical chairs kind of. You just have to grab it before everybody else does. There was the one, I think you had to climb a rope, and endlessly. It was an endless rope.
Was that for Icarus?
Yeah, that was for Icarus.
It has the names on the thing.
Yeah, I
That's
see.
interesting.
Yeah, and then the rope kind of dropped down from the ceiling, and you have to keep climbing, and if you fall off the rope. I really like that for Icarus as well. Then there was, I can't say that next one.
Sisyphus.
Thank you. I don't even want to try. The list will just Sisyphus, you know, like just woo.
Perfect.
Then the next one was endlessly rolling a boulder up and over a hill until
Yeah.
other people gave out. And then the other one was a track, and everybody was put at a quarter way around the track. And if you have to run and touch the person in front of you to get them out while everybody else is running around the track. And if someone else comes up from behind you, yeah, so it was like the endless, it was great. I loved it. It was really good theming. And yeah, the one who steals the fire to give him the human. I normally know these things, but brain go like that. So
Sleep deprivation, baby.
so we get little pictures here. I'll play them. Why not? Yeah, why not? This is what the one would look like. And then we get this one here. So this is the torch one. Percy Jackson. Whipple loved Percy Jackson.
I read the shit out of those books when I was in
We have the rope one. And now the interesting thing was they get to pick within their little groups that still existed from before. Amongst them, they had to vote like together who would get to do each one of that. Does that make sense? So like the four of them would have to sit down and pick which one they wanted to do. We got this one here. But yeah, we'll just skip to it. So they're sitting down, they have their cards out, and they have to pick which one they want to do. And normally the people picked what was best for them. There was not two or three. I think there was probably two situations where the people kind of knew that they had no chance to go up against the people they were going up against, but they had no choice, and it was kind of just how it was. Let's just skip to it because I like this a lot, and here's why. Think about it this way. Everybody picked what they thought they could be best at. Instead of doing... It balances the playing field, right? To make the top 5 be... Because think about it this way. If everybody had to do each one of these challenges, how would you go about doing that? Because if you ended up doing the boulder one first, you'd get eliminated just solely off of that. Because it puts you up against the best people of which you are best at.
Yeah.
And I like that. That to me seems fair. And again, I appreciate fairness, especially when it comes to games like this and when there's so much money involved. So this is what the stuff looked like. Wow, I really need some caffeine. Woo! The rocks, they got ropes around them. And I'll just go through them quickly, but it was very nice because it also, as a viewer, like let's just talk about like a TV show. It diversified the content and made it more interesting instead of doing the same thing for an hour. Because I think probably the weaker episode was the second one when they were doing the mud pit and the playground, because it was an entire hour of the same exact thing. So it kind of got repetitive, whereas this, every 20 minutes was something different. You die the first second you enter the room, and playing to your own strengths equals good. I agree. So right here is an example of a situation where she got stuck picking one of the stuff. No, I will not sleep pep. One of the things that probably is not best for her, and she couldn't even lift it up. And it was kind of really disheartening to see. So they're getting ready here. This is the first challenge. And you can see the guys she's up against. Like, look at them. They look like, they're built. She's trying. She's trying so hard. I hope you guys can just see it through this. And she can't get it up. And they ended on that. She's like grunting and stuff. But she has a good heart, and here's why. She keeps trying even after she's failed. She drops the ball, and she keeps trying. She just wants to see if she can do it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I like the imagery too. Like it looks huge. It looks exhausting. But yeah, I don't know if you can see her down here, but she's still trying. And the fact that she even lifted it, I agree. But she just got stuck in that situation. I think she chose it kind of. She was like willing to take it on. But I really don't think she understood how heavy it would be. And I think this goes on for a lot. Whipple, guess how long this goes on for?
To hold these huge balls.
Yeah, the last two people. Like, how long do you think they last?
20 minutes.
An hour.
Uh.
A whole hour. I think it might be longer than that, actually. An hour and 30 minutes. My bad. Wow. That is crazy. It went on for so long. The one guy had an ice pack on his shoulder afterwards.
I don't doubt it. Jesus.
But yeah, so that's how that one went. And then we get our winner. And it must be really defeating to lose after holding that thing on your head for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then our next obstacle course here was the torch one. This one was just to get over the wall, through the rain and water, across the sand, and grab a torch before anybody else. And each time one torch was taken away. We get background on some of the people because, you know, they make you want to care about what's going to go on. I'm also going to mess with the chat while you guys see what this looks like. Because I want to see if I can make chat look a little bit better. Okay, let's skip to it though. I think this was probably one of the more underwhelming ones. They start back here laying down, and it just wasn't enough time in the water to make running in the sand any more difficult. I think if it was a longer obstacle course, I'd probably be a bit more enthusiastic about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yanni, I had no idea it was that long. Like it was so long. But so they get over the wall. This guy gets stuck. This is the only American. He's like a basketball player over there or something like that. And then whoever gets it first. So that's how that goes. I didn't like the poor sportsmanship at the end. This fellow here, he does a flip. Whoa, he did a flip! Did you see that? Whipple, hold up, watch the screen.
I'm watching.
Okay. They didn't take the Goog name? What's that mean? I hope I didn't just say something bad. First challenge, it was more based off the Alice. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Flip. There's the flip. He does an epic flip.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay. But the sportsmanship on the last go was kind of shitty, and I did not... I think people felt similar, but no one really said anything. Here it is. Watch this. So it's just the two of them now. And he pushes him.
Oh, that's good. That's rude.
He pushes
Not cool.
him.
Big smelly.
I like, especially in contrast to how everybody else has been operating throughout the entirety of this show. You know, with most people being pretty honorable, people picking like fair opponents, shoving someone out of the way just kind of. But again, they didn't say it's against the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So like technically you could. It just felt icky, I guess. So that was that one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know which one's your favorite, by the way, after I show you all of them. So the next one is the rope climbing one. And we have someone here who climbs ropes a lot, so he ends up winning. He does mountain rescue. He was one of my favorites. I know I'm not using names. I just figured I'd rather not try. I can't even say normal English words properly, so I'd just embarrass myself and come across as rude. This one was fun though. I thought it was interesting how some people had actual technique. when they were hanging from the rope. They weren't just kind of. She was really struggling. She was relying too much on her forearms. She wasn't really using good feet, like her legs at all. As you could tell, she's just hanging there. And then let's skip a little bit further. She was trying harder. She had some. See if you see the strategy here with the feet. You hook your legs together, and then you get a little bit of a break with your forearms, but she wasn't too good at it either. I don't know. Which one would you want to do if you had to pick, Whipple?
If I had to pick one of them,
Yeah.
probably the torch one, because that's a factor of speed. And I'm not. My endurance is awful. I would not win in any of the endurance ones.
So you think, and you could hop over the thing pretty quickly, probably.
Hmm. I would. The best chance I would have would be the torch one.
Okay. So this is the guy that does mountain climbing, professionally. He's like goes in and tries to save people that are stuck. He does mountain rescue. He has his feet. Like, look at this. He's using his toes to lock his other foot in place. It's similar to how that girl was hanging in the hanging challenge. It's so smart. It's great technique. It's not. He's literally resting his one arm as he's doing this. So he ends up winning, which is cool.
Mm.
And he was one of my favorites. So I was happy. He seemed like a good guy, and we like good guys winning. I could never figure out how climbing rope works. I don't like it because once you go up, I don't really like the process of going down. So this was the last one. This one was maybe you do good at this one because you're really fast, and if you could like sprint ahead and get a good start. This one was brutal though because it's not just running. You have someone chasing you.
Yeah, at all times.
That's so much scarier.
This one would go on too long for me, and I'd slow down.
I think they end up doing. I don't remember. It's either 30 or 60 laps. It is brutal. It's brutal. And this one guy had really great pacing, but at the very end, you know how at the very end of races, some people can sprint to the finish line with that last little bit of energy?
Yeah.
The guy behind him did that, and as a result, he caught up to him. So this one would be your last choice. Chat, which one would be your choice? I want to know what would be the most. If I could do a poll, I'd do which one is like the most popular chosen one. But yeah, so they were running for a while. It's making me tired looking at it. Wow. Yeah, I think who ended up winning. The strategy for the winner was they sprinted right off the bat, got themselves like a good space ahead, and then what ended up happening was they just kept like slowed down to the same pace everybody else was, and then at the very very end when it was just the last two, they sprinted ahead and got the last person. Yeah. Okay, and then this last one was also very brutal. It was the infinite rock rolling one.
That sounds brutal.
The big boulders that they were holding over the heads, but this time was pushed. And I think it went on for like roughly 2 hours.
Jesus.
I know. And as you can see probably as I'm skipping around, a lot of the focus was on not just the contestants actually doing it, but the contestants that were watching. Again, like the commentary here was not just they were also cheering them on a lot, which was really sweet. Like when contestants were about to give up and stop, they were counting for them like 3, 2, 1, push, 3, 2, 1, push, you know, and like it gave them a boost, and it was encouraging seeing a competitive friendly atmosphere within the fitness area, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be honest, what my social media feeds me, I don't know about you guys, what your social media feeds you, it kind of feeds me like toxic competitive atmosphere here, around me at least. It's like I'm bigger, better, and I want you to fail. Like, I think at least here, where I am in my small little world, people enjoy the failure of others far too often than is cool. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, the downfall of others is seen often as now I can use their body as a step up and I can get further. Whereas that does not have to be true. You know, we can help each other and stuff like that and get further together. And it was really sweet. I was like on the verge of tears sometimes because these grown ass fucking 250-pound pure muscle men were just like, it's okay, buddy. You'll get it next time. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, and he
That's never
said,
convert it, by the way. Those things are more than 200 pounds.
oh, how much are they?
They're 100 kilos, which is about 220 pounds.
Oh, okay, even better. Great. Something Yanni always enjoyed about that was the show Forged in Fire. Oh, your dad loves that show. And the Great
Forge Fire is
British
cool.
Baking Show? Good sportsmanship. Yeah. Just, I don't know. It just makes it feel better, I think, on the inside, where the soul is somewhere in there, right? Makes it feel better. But they were all sweaty. And they kept going. And the way it worked was, I think it was 30 seconds. The whistle would blow. You had 30 seconds to get it up and over and cross the line. And then at 30 seconds again, the whistle would blow. And then you would go over the hill. So, those were all 5. And I really liked this episode. I think it was well diversified. And then the last episode, we have our final 5. And to be honest, I kind of found it underwhelming. I wouldn't say it was underwhelming enough to the point of where I wouldn't watch the show just because of it. But I thought it was unfair for the one aspect of it. And I didn't like the set design. So, the final 5 have a feast mimicking Squid Game a lot. Like, a lot. A lot. And they all have this great moment together where they share what inspired them to come on the show and what the money would mean to them and what they hope to get out of this experience. So we get to know our final 5 a bit more while they eat. Oh, look at the face, man. He's really hungry. He's like really hungry. And then they say that this last one's gonna be like a test of all 5 of the things that endurance, strength, dexterity, something like that. All of those things. You know, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They want to find the perfect body. But they started off with a stupid challenge. So this is the layout, Whipple, of the final. Hold up, my brain just. Ugh.
Take your time.
Whipple, help me. Wait. Okay, I'll put on. I can feel myself losing it. I'm losing it. Chat, help me. Do. Whipple, how are you going?
I gotta find you the song that this is making. I feel like all my Pokemon passed out. I'm at the Poke Center or I'm buying Pokeballs or something.
I'm not trying to figure anything out, Yanni. I'm just trying to like have my brain go in a straight line right now. You know what I mean? Like just thinking. Oh, okay. I think it's back together. My brain's just slowly falling apart. I feel like it's being held together with like string cheese.
String cheese is good.
not good for holding the brain together. But anyway, back to the show.
Tastes good.
Back to the show. Sorry, brief intermission while my brain just shut down. Oh, hello. Oh no, that's a lot of vowels. That's a lot of vowels. Help me. How do I say that name?
Owari Seraph.
Oh, hello, Owari. Owari. I need like a hello button. I don't have a hello button. I'll make a sound for you. Okay, that's probably way too quiet. Breathe. Listen. I I drove a lot today, ready to go sleep, but sleep didn't come to me, so now we go into the Goofy land. Anyway, back to TV. Back. Whipple. Here we go.
Yeah.
This, what you see here, is
Uh-huh.
the entire design for the entire episode. Like, this is the final finale thing. And I found it underwhelming because it is like a tech board, like just a fucking big TV on the ground that they use to illuminate the floor and make pathways and stuff. I don't know, I found it underwhelming. It didn't tickle my teeth, okay? It left me wanting some more sauce. And as an Italian, that ain't right, okay? So, the first challenge is where I have my qualms, okay? And we will talk about them now, alright? Let's take a look. They're like, we're gonna find the perfect... This is exactly what they sound like, by the way, if you listen to the undubbed, the normal one. It's exactly the same thing. They go, we're gonna find the perfect body, and by doing so, we need to do all five things. We need to do endurance, strength, so that we're gonna do one of each. The first one being this challenge here, which is a 5-way tug of war. Oh.
Okay.
Oh! Frigid, you've made it through your shift. Frick yeah. That's so cool that you listen to me while you're at work, by the way. I do that with streamers, and it helps me get through shifts. I hide my headphone under my hair so my boss doesn't know. Anyway, thank you. Sorry, the Italian is not coming from nowhere. This is important, I promise. This is very important. This is a very important detail, because if you see the 5-way tug-of-war, there's strings. Strings equal noodles. And you are my noodle chat. So don't relax, alright? Everything makes sense. You can't see it the way I do. I've transcended to the next level from sleep deprivation. You can't see it. This guy in the very back, if you look at my mouse, this guy right here, beep, the one beep, 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 in the back.
I can't see a mouse.
That's fine. Well, frick you. You imagine my mouse there. This guy right here. This guy, he is a beef stick. He is a Parmesan string cheese motherfucker. He is big. He's the guy from the previous 5 challenges that did the Atlas one, the rock on his shoulder. He is like a sumo wrestler kind of build. You know what I mean? Who do you think's gonna win in a scenario where really weight is a really important factor here, right? So I was rooting for this guy, the rock climbing dude, for the mountain rescue. I really liked his character, and I just wanted him to win. However, look here. Let's analyze here, chat, for a second. Our boy over here that I was rooting for is very frail, okay? He's strong, but frail as in he can be pulled around by this big boy very easily because he's like twice his size. So what to me is unfair is the layout. If our boy was next to him, it would have ended completely differently. Like, their layout changes completely the result of who wins. Because I should explain what happens. They all in front of them directly in front of them, have a box that has a key on it that they have to reach, as you can see here. And if they get their key, they can unlock the thing connecting them to the wire, and they're good to go. they're safe, and the last person to fail or to try to get out is eliminated. So the fifth person is eliminated, and then they go on to the next challenge to see who would get to move on in the final perfect body. Because of the layout of where they were located and this man's freaking larger size, which is fine, my boy that I was rooting for here got dragged across the floor like he was made of spaghetti. And it was really upsetting because if he was located next to him, he would have gotten dragged towards his own key rather than completely 180 across from his key. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
They could have been wired separately and the layout would still work. I think so, maybe? I'm not 100% sure what you mean, but it doesn't work this way, and that's what I know. They thought it would be cool or something, but like, let's take a look as it plays in the background here. It doesn't feel fair. He gets dragged, he can't do anything about it, and he fights for it, but like, look what's happening here. We're halfway in. Our boy got his key. Or the big boy, I should say. The big boy got his key first. You could see. He made it there. Nothing's stopping him. Bink. Our boy. He's gonna get dragged that way. Look how quickly. He's nowhere even close. So if he was located next to him, again, he would have gotten helped by the fact that he was getting pulled. Helped. So if I've spoiled it enough, he gets eliminated. He's the last one, which is very unfortunate. And I just didn't think it was fair. And as like a grand finale kind of thing, it kind of peeved me off a little bit. I was kind of annoyed because it just came down to like weight, and he got dragged. And the very last second, he gives it his best shot when there's just two of them. He kind of strategically lets the guy get his key, and then quickly like runs and grabs his, and it's just a matter of who unlocks it quicker, and it's by like a half of a second that he just barely doesn't. So, you know, here it is, the final two. And he's so far away from his in comparison, and he's trying so hard, but there's only so much you can do, and it didn't feel fair. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And he played as smart as he could, but it just sucked. I was pissed off, and I kind of lost. I lost a little bit of my sense of investment, because when you don't think it's fair, you're like, well, I don't care anymore. At least for me personally. What do you think, Whipple? Does that make sense? Does it feel fair? Do you agree?
No.
It doesn't?
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
I don't know. Got mad. You know, I started stomping around with my angry feet, and it's freaking, like, me. So that's that one. And now we're down to 4 people. And the fourth one was somehow, all the way at this stage, a team, like a co-op thing.
That's weird.
Yeah. I like, again, if you're trying to get down to the perfect, fair body thing, it just didn't seem completely right. But that's alright. It was a flip the tile challenge. Are you familiar with these?
I don't see it on the screen yet.
No, but like,
flip the tile
you haven't
challenge?
played that game as a kid or anything?
Maybe I know it by a different name.
So basically, just whoever has the most tiles flipped up at the end of the time is the winner.
You just have to flip up a bunch of tiles on the ground?
Oh yeah, so I'll explain, no problem. Is one, like, each side of the tile has a color. I guess I used to play this when I was like back in elementary school days. It's just you're on a team and everybody's flipping over tiles, and then whoever has like the most tiles upright of their color at the end of the time.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's really endurance based and kind of strategy based as well. So this is what it looks like. They're teamed up. The winner of the last one gets to pick who he wants for this as his teammate. And then the winners move on. But then the 2 losers have to go up against each other. And I believe it's for 4 minutes that they go. They just go. So this is what it looks like. It was exhausting. Oh, I have the hiccups. So the one team had a good strategy. They followed around in a like counterclockwise motion, separated, so they weren't ever touching or overlapping each other. The other person, like and immediately were flipping over the enemy team's squares.
Mm-hmm.
So as it goes, it's very intense, but something that most of them didn't account for is endurance. 4 minutes is a long time to be bending over and flipping over tiles as fast as you can. I think it was 3 minutes, actually. I'm sorry. And at the very end of it, the bigger guy that eliminated my favorite guy was lost, and he had to go up against the other guy, and it was a blowout. Like, it was pretty bad. He was out of breath. It was really difficult for him. But, yeah, I don't know. I didn't, again, I found it underwhelming. What do you think?
I find it underwhelming, doubly so because I've never found this to be a particularly interesting or enjoyable game, regardless of whether I win or lose.
Oh, that's so.
Yeah, so I'm like doubly not as invested in this particular type of challenge.
Okay. That's fair. I don't think it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I think there's probably better options is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was tired of this setup. I didn't really. Yeah, it makes such a difference on what order these challenges are placing. Exactly, because Yanni, let's say this challenge was before the heavier guy, the bigger guy, right? That is eliminated now. He would have been eliminated here, and then the rock climbing guy would have still been in.
Mm-hmm.
So a score from each one probably would have been the best. I agree. If they sincerely wanted what the perfect body was, they would do that rather than what they're doing here.
No.
So then the third one was really weird. They're called the bus stops, I think. Something stops. They're these quick little, it was illuminated by the floor, little paths where they had to ring a bell back and forth. But like the whistle would blow and they had to ring the bell, go across and ring the bell again before the whistle blew again. So it started off, I think, at 10 or 11-second intervals, and then it went down by a second each time until eventually they're just pretty much constantly running. If you fail to hit the bell before the next whistle, you're illuminated. So it's basically just running and hitting bells. I think they're called like short stops or bus stops. And we lose a guy here. I personally just didn't find it too. Again, like, I just didn't like the setup, but this is personal preference. It was also annoying to constantly hear a bell ding and a whistle blow. And then after that was the final one. I'm just gonna skip this one, to be honest. Like, it really just goes on for a long time. And it reflects, I guess, how long that they had to do it. But this whole section of them running back and forth was 10 minutes, and it did feel dragged out to me a bit. I liked how they constantly were sharing the inner monologue of what the contestants were going through. However, it just, to me, wasn't enough. I was looking away a bit. I was like actually successfully editing for once while this was going on. And it was a mental game more than anything else. So, I don't know, pretty simple. Not too crazy or anything. Again, would love to hear your thoughts. Even if this is uploaded post, let me know. Yanni or Pap or Owari? Question mark? Did I say that right? I say it?
I think so.
Or maybe freaking Doom is probably in the middle of the road driving home. Just type in the while you're driving. I 100% condone. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you could do it with your toe, with your left foot, that'd be kind of cool. Like type with your toe, without looking at your phone, either. So let's skip to the last one. I liked the last one. And I think it kind of made up for the other ones. It felt fair, but it I didn't like where it was located. It just felt like silly, I guess. I like the other ones more. Johnny says it does feel a bit simple compared to the earlier challenges, which were with teams to be fair, less options with just one person. Yeah, I think there were like a lot of potential things, but there's gonna be a season 2, so I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do. So Whipple, what do you think
Yes.
about this? This is the final, ultimate, last one, 1v1. Who has the perfect body? It's
Fight
a.
to death. Sorry, continue.
That's good. That was very good. I like it.
Thank you.
Um, it's an infinite rope pulling.
You just have to pull it out of as much rope of something as you can.
So here on the screen, if you can see, there's like rope, and then there's rope wheels. They just have to infinitely pull it until they get to the other end of the rope.
All of these feel like endurance challenges except for the first one, in which case Big Beef dragged everyone around.
Yeah, you're pretty much right. The last 3 have been endurance challenges. This one also uses strength in the upper body, like your arms.
Mm-hmm.
But this rope pulling went on for a while. Like a good while. There was a lot of sweat, I guess. I don't know how to say it. People dripping sweat. And it was more of a mental challenge, again, because you couldn't see the end of the rope. You had absolutely no idea how much rope that you had to pull.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'd give it a thumbs up, this final challenge here. Especially because at the very beginning, if I spoiler here, the one guy comes flying out the gates. He goes so fast, like like really fast, and he like really looks ahead. But then the way they edited it, I guess, made it look like the other guy was clearly gonna lose, but then he came back. So it was an enjoyable watch. I liked it. You can see the commentary from the people that were eliminated being cheerful, cheering them on. But yeah, I don't know. It had the whole memory lane thing at the end with their journeys here, and that's kind of the whole ordeal. It took over an hour to pull all of the rope. They almost died. Yanni thinks it'd be cool to see more agility for some of these last challenges, like American Ninja Warrior type style thing. I think so. I think there's a lot of other options. I'm not going to propose any because I can't think of any, which might sound stupid, but I think if I were given an hour to sit down and think of some, I don't know. Can you think of any off the top of your head?
Any other like attributes of physical prowess?
Well, no, like challenges that they could have done that weren't so endurance heavy.
I said fight to the death is kind of a meme, but like if they were on like maybe like a raised podium with like a reasonably wide platform they were standing on, and they had to try and knock each other off either physically or with like batons or something.
I don't know. I kind of find that's overdone. I'd find that boring personally. I was literally making fun of that earlier. Maybe I was telling like the jousting thing is annoying. I don't like that anymore.
I guess it's overdone, but it gives some, nod to agility and stuff.
I guess that's fair. Or maybe like Yanni was saying earlier, just do something totaled score, like however you overall performance. So that's kind of everything. The guy gives a speech at the end for winning. He makes it really brief, like really brief. He just says, "Thank you to my mom and dad, and I will be better," and that's it. And the show's over. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I do recommend watching it, especially if you need something to watch. It's a good show. It's motivational. It makes you think about what we consider to be strong. Is it really physical strength or is it the mental strength? Because when you see these challenges and you watch it, It really comes down to who is able to mentally endure. And I think that is often overlooked and underestimated, underappreciated. And then we're gonna take a little trip here, Whipple, to see if we could find what Pap was talking about with.
Oh, the reshooting of the end?
Yeah, let's go to silly just chatting. This is what I have here. Hi, welcome to my silly just chatting. Hope you guys like this layout. Hopefully chat pops up. If you guys send some messages in, I'll give it a test. Hey Whipple, send a message or two and I'll give it a test.
Whoa, your volume went higher. Let
Oh,
me.
it did?
It did.
On Discord?
Yeah. Well, I guess
Oh,
on Discord, yeah.
that's you, I guess, unless you're watching through stream.
I didn't even do anything. Why did it? What happened? I'll reduce your volume a little bit.
Pap.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I look up Pap? That doesn't make any sense. Can you see okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so why did I look up Pap? Pap, I'm just thinking of you. That's all I'm thinking of. So there's a reshooting physical 100 reshoot. Oops. I went back to the wrong one. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we find. I'm just curious. Hello, test. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe I broke it. Try again. Send message. I beg. Oh, maybe it's because I have white text now?
Maybe.
Let's see. Let's see. Chat. There we go. It should come up now. Question mark? Oh, I see. Hold up. You guys are learning with me. There we go. I fixed it. To change the color again. What color did I make it? Black. You guys are very nice. Thank you for all the tests. What was the reason for the reshoot? Let's see. IBT says accused of manipulation and okay. I had no idea. Netflix's 100 is facing allegations that Saturday's finale episode was rigged after viewers pointed out that the final quest between. Okay, I'm just gonna skip the names. I'm sorry. Young. Actually, Elias, can you filler for me?
Can I what for you?
Filler, like be the names for me. You're very good with names.
I can try, but because of the delay, I often can't see the names yet. Jung Hae Min and Woo Jin Young.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Viewers of the popular survival show, I like observed that during the pulling of ropes game, Woo allegedly had an advantage since his ropes seemed easier to pull, which ultimately led to his victory. Interesting. Maybe his rope seemed easier to pull though because he was going strong? I don't know. Going home with the 200 million roughly. Okay. Yeah. What's
This is a hot topic in Korea right now, and this is an article. It's all in Korean. It's called the Sunday Paper, and they reported that.
Nah. Okay. Let's just read on. I'm not seeing anything here that like sounds like evidence though. I saw the main producer of Physical 100 write on Instagram, a lie can be well known, but it cannot be the truth. So I thought that the time has come to speak up and share my position as one of the two people involved in the final match. Young said, according to English translation. Okay. Young claimed that when the match started, there was already a noticeable difference between him and the CrossFitter, where, quote, even members who were watching said the former speed was, quote, 3 times faster. Interesting. Yeah, I'm also surprised the controversy wasn't about the first round. He then confirmed that Woo did complain about a, quote, fault in the equipment after hearing the wheel make too much noise. Afterwards, the producers began to intervene by lubricating the wheel and making the round easier. Whoa. Young claimed that toward the end of the battle, the producers stopped the round once again. We were taking a break when the producers came and said that they couldn't use the footage because of an audio issue. The producers said that they would cut the rope and will film again if I'm okay with it. Woo Young agreed to it, he said. He also admitted that he was against the idea, but the producers convinced him. He thought that everything would be, quote, resolved if they reshot the challenge. The producers also allegedly suggested filming again the next day, but Young said, quote, he couldn't tell hundreds of people to come out again the next day. Oh, they also said they would cut the rope as much as he had already pulled out, but doubted that they did, and that there were also talks of having faulty equipment. Following the loss, he wanted the producers to include an explanation of why he ran out of strength in the final episode, but the producers had told him that he could not intervene with the editing. Quote, I like how they put intervene in, because it's not really intervening, it's just saying what happened?
Yeah.
What? I don't want to be number one, nor do I want a rematch. I don't want the money either. I also hope there's no aggression against Woo. I just feel that the show was edited to make it seem like I lost in vain. That's what's hard to accept as an athlete. Oh, wow. Okay. I had no idea. Papa, is this what you were talking about? Let's see. Oh, let's go. Should we go on to the deep, scary Reddit? The final match was only temporarily suspended and resumed at the beginning of the game to listen to the participants' opinions and check for audio issues. But there was no rematch that overturned the game's results. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm surprised it was not about the first one. I also don't know that they have an entire Reddit community. Oh my goodness. Wow. But thanks so much for joining. I think hopefully you are gonna go check it out. I do think it's worth a watch. I think it's a good, fun thing to put on in the background, or just sincerely dive into if you really need something to. It's JV Skelly. Hey, how are you? Good morning? Question mark? Probably. And if you find anything else in regards to this scandal, or whatever it is here, send it to me on my Discord. I'd like to check it out and read about it. But it just seems like my brain, Whipple, my brain, it's going down the drain. It's going down the drain. Oh, that rhymed.
It sure did.
Ha 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 ha. Oh wait, that's not the right one. I wanted to do joke. Yeah, I need to increase that volume. That's fine. We're supposed to have problems still. But yeah, if you see anything else, that'd be cool to send. Let me know if I don't know, if you have any suggestions of what I should do next. I think I'm going to be doing Animal World just because it's something I haven't heard talked about and want to. Yeah, unfortunately, JV missed like the entire stream, but that's okay. It's a little bit of a clusterfuck, but that's how we like it, right, Whipple?
It would have no. It's chaos after all.
Well, I feel like it's a little bit more put together than normal. More normal.
That's true.
Yeah.
It wasn't listen. I only caught the end of the Webkin stream, but the little bit that I did hang out for.
Yeah, I dragged.
This is definitely a little more.
Thank you for coming. I do appreciate it. It's just mostly me talking, but occasionally having your input was nice. And Yanni asked if I've seen the show Person of Interest. I have not. Would you recommend, or is there a reason why? But
I haven't even heard of it.
I think I heard something of it. I do not know. I just know that guess what I'm gonna do? I'm going to sleep. But thanks for tagging along, Visage. Your name gives me stress. Please change your name.
You say it right every time.
I know, but I hesitate every time. It don't feel right. Thank you, Yanni. Thank you, Pap. Thank you, Awari. There was a whole bunch of you that appreciate you tagging along. And anybody that stopped by, and people on the re-upload, if you're still watching, thank you for watching. I had a good time going over recap. Are there any other notes that you want to add, Whipple, about your thoughts on the show as someone who hasn't seen it?
Not any complex. Other the finale was. I don't want to say that it sucked because that's too harsh, but
I just found it a little underwhelming. I would have preferred an obstacle course. Just I'm more of a nature person recently, and I'm tired of tech. And I was like, really, we're going with the tech board? They're running across it. They're running on a computer screen. But yeah, I think the overall messages. I like media that allows you to have conversations afterwards rather than telling you what to think and then you put it away in a book or a shelf and then you're done. This gives me room to have conversations with people about, like, hey, what did you think about what this was trying to say? So I like it, and yeah, it's good. It's recommend. Well, thanks for tagging along. I did a long man, I think almost. No, it's not. EFAP would be shamed for 3 hours and 15 minutes. They'd be like, this goofy. But have a good one. We have game night coming up on Thursday, so if you want to tag along game night, check out the game night server part. And then last but not least, I have a Have Your Voice Heard in my Discord server as well. If you want to be part of my future YouTube videos where I need some input from other people, because I need other people sometimes because I'm only one person, hop in that server and check it out sometimes, because I'd love to have your voices heard. But that's all. I hope you have good night, and thank you again.